All right. So, welcome back. You gentlemen completed your last objective and made it home to celebrate in a lovely bar scene. Here at what did we call this place? It was something in Degrees. What was this bar called? Dockside something in Degree. It's a D&D is how I abbreviated it. No one can remember, can they?
No.
Okay, I guess it's not that important. I'll remember it as soon as we leave. Was that Ghost?
I was agreeing with you that we'll remember it as soon as we leave.
Drafts and degrees? Anyway. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different than our normal episodes. What we're doing today is what I call an intermission episode. Today's episode will be about talking about what you guys did at home in our Florida Green or old Delta Green games. This would have been done by like a vignette, but we're going to do an actual episode about it. We're going to try to do an episode about it, and each of you is going to give me a short little thing of we're going to do this thing, and then we're going to have a short little run of an adventure. The idea is that between four of you, we'll have 4 little 40-minute mini adventures. And the rule is that you want to make sure that it fits within a week of in-game time and that your other players can participate in whatever happens. It doesn't have to be complicated. The other thing we're going to do is I have set out, so you guys brought the ship, which you've given a name, the Borealis. The ship has earned its name. And when you got back, it got pulled into the shipyard for refitting purposes. It's having some enhancements and repairs done because it did take an EMP blast, and it was always meant to have a few extra bells and whistles. And with that, the administration of the school, including the dean, has decided that you might need some extra crew members. So he's forwarded, specifically Dr. Otto, but CC'd the rest of the crew, the resumes of 4 individuals that are potential crewmates. Now, you may choose all of these people, or you may choose none of these people. It is up to you who you wish to choose. Hi, Allie. This is a decision that you can. I don't know if you guys can hear her yell hi in the background. This is a decision that you guys will need to chat about. And I will ask at the end of the episode for you guys to give me your answers on what you want to do or how you want to do it. As far as crew members go on the ship, recognize that with all 4 of them, though, the ship will be a little crowded, although it does technically have the room.
I like Mike, just personally.
So it's worth noting there are some special caveats to some of them. Actually, all of them have their own little caveats that aren't necessarily written down, and I can go ahead and tell you that now, so that you guys can have it as a consideration while you're thinking about it. One of them is that Mike and Tina come as partners. They're not a couple, but they are partners. They work together, and there might be some drama there if one or more of them runs off and does something extra or different. The captain, she comes as the captain of the ship. She is, she's assigned to the crew. She will take over the running of the ship, and that is the expectation. She does not mean she is in charge of the group, and that's a understood distinction. It is Dr. Otto's expedition, but the ship is her domain. And this basically is because the only reason she's willing to take the job is to kind of protect the crew, and if you interview her, you may find out more of why that is. And then lastly, you've got Kakal. He's in it for the money. And he's really looking to start himself up as a sort of high-end broker of rare to find things. And so he's offered his services, brokering and helping keep the ship running and cutting through red tape and doing all that in the hope that he can acquire enough goodies that he can start his own business. Okay. But we'll talk more about them at the end of the episode. Like I said, I imagine that during this episode, you guys might have a few minutes to, read over those PDFs. If not, we'll take a few minutes to do them at the end. So I'm not going to do a normal recap. If there's anything that was from the last episode that any of you feel like I need to touch on or need to answer any questions you guys have that I hadn't answered, now's a good time. Otherwise, we're going to dive right in.
Did we find out what happened to Sarah and Katrine and
All of them.
Yes. So I was calling her Katrin, and I was doing it quite intentionally. I won't say why, but I was doing it quite intentionally. So yeah, we'll start with Sarah. You guys brought Sarah. You brought them back on the Borealis. So they're here on Esperanza. Sarah has been granted, mostly due to the fact that all these terrible things happened to this expedition, and she brought back enough evidence of there being scientific value on Mithril that she is being granted a research team and a professorship, and they want her to go lead the scientific team that's going back to Mithril. Partially due to Dr. Otto's recommendation that it was worth sending a team back, the university has at great expense funded an entire expedition of multiple ships to go and basically recolonize the Mithril outpost and do scientific research on the planet. It's a pretty massive undertaking, and since they're the only survivors of the previous outpost, Katrin and Eagle were asked to go along with them and have accepted positions with the fleet. So
that's great. Yeah.
Right here in day one, that fleet would be assembling overhead, but within a week, it'll have left. That's a good question. That's a great question. Was there any more like that?
I really just, I wanted to follow up on our friends and make sure that everybody was doing well.
All right. Okay, so we dive back in. Let's go ahead and start with Zigzag. Where do we find Zigzag at the start of week 1?
I'm at my Pops' bodega here in Esperanza. My Pops is named Bart, and just coming back from my trip, I need to check in with him. He's an elderly man, but running the bodega is very social for him, and he likes having friends that stop by and regular customers. And I've worked in his little restaurant for a long, long time. So as soon as we got back from Mithril, I would have gone and just checked in on my Pops. And he's looking older. It's not something that a son ever really wants to admit about his father. But he's starting to worry me. And probably that first night back, he took me aside and we poured old alcohol. And he confessed to me that he wanted something called a luminous crown, which is kind of like a bioluminescent fish. Leviathan, we'll call it. It's the size of a small shuttle. Anyway, he had tasted one of these things as a child, and he says that it's quite a unique flavor, and it can only be found in the depths of the seas of Esperanza. So he comes to me with an idea of chartering a boat, and we'd go out deep sea fishing, which, properly lubricated with alcohol, I would definitely invite my friends along with, and to see if they would like to go.
Okay.
I do know that we just came back, but gentlemen, if you're up for another trip, this time more local, I'd like to charter a deep sea boat and maybe go fishing. It's kind of an important deal for my Pops here.
I'm down. Let's do this. Can't be any worse than last time, where we were the bait in the big APC thing. So, whatever boat we're going on, got to be more seaworthy than that thing. So, let's have a great time.
Absolutely, sounds fun.
All right, great. I hope you guys don't get seasick or anything. It's one thing to go out in space, or even in that APC, we were kind of yeah. Have you guys been on a big boat?
Yes, indeed.
So Bart will probably take us aside as we're getting our stuff together, and he would talk about this mythical fish known as the luminous crown. It's a shimmering beast that's only been seen like once every few decades. And like I said, it's the size of a small shuttle, and it's smarter than most spacer captains. And what we have to do is set bait that's pulsing light modules. So we're going to make a lure that glows and shimmers the same way that the luminous crown would. We don't know if that's going to work, really, because the people that used to catch them are no longer around, and that's why no one has eaten them in such a long time. But we are going to have a feast on this luminous crown.
So you're going to head down to the docks and start looking for a fishing boat that can take you out to sea looking for this thing. That's going to require over-air transit for you. So this is quite a charter. Because if I remember correctly, you guys are on the Esperanza map. Some of this stuff out of the way. We don't need that right now. Don't need this right now. Esperanza map. If I remember correctly, you guys are here at this city. This is where Dorado is.
Correct.
Yep.
And so the sea, I guess you could come out these hexes right here. So yeah, there are going to be docks at Dorado. So you could come out straight out of Dorado. It doesn't require over-air travel. My bad. But to get
That's how I remember it too.
the deep sea, I'm going to imagine is going to need to be a sea tile that's completely surrounded by hexes.
That is, yes, that is the case. And you're right, in the more northern hemisphere, these things like the very, very cold waters. So maybe more up north than we normally want to go.
Okay.
So charters in Dorado.
Dorado's a pretty big city. I would imagine that there's probably a charter.
A thriving charter business, but maybe there's a monopoly too, where most of the boats are owned by one conglomerate, right?
So the question is do you want to go with a big conglomerate or a smaller operator? I would say both of those options are going to be available. So you go down to the docks and you do see the options of, the big names that, licensed, insured, and very corporate. And then you see the old sea salt hands with maybe slightly less new boats, but and almost certainly no insurance. But individual operators are going to come with a certain degree of experience.
How comfortable do my friends want to be? Because, frankly, I kind of like the older boats. I don't want to be on, like, the newer charters. But if you guys don't, like that, you want your own, like, room or whatever, how do you guys feel about this?
It's fishing boat. Like, can't go on a deep sea expedition without going on the old boat. Like, that's what gives you the experience.
Yeah, as long as the thing's not going to fall apart in the middle of the water, yeah, that sounds about right.
Are we sure we're not going to need a bigger boat?
Well, you're right. It's the fish is huge. I haven't even seen a picture of this, but Bart says that it's like the size of a shuttle. So you're right. We might need a bigger boat. Then again, way back in the ancient days, whaling ships would go out in their smaller boats and then harpoon the thing. So maybe we could do it with a smaller boat.
But whaling ships would do it with a small boat and harpoon it and then pull it with the big boat.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't. Do you know anything else about whaling? Because that could come in handy.
I did spend a few years in my earlier days out on the ocean doing the exploring thing.
Oh, that's great. Can you captain the ship? Maybe we'll just rent one and not take somebody. I don't know if that's possible, but if you could do it.
I am capable of driving a ship, yes.
All right. Well, that could make this a little cheaper. All right. It sounds like we don't really care about the new ships and the monopolized charter cruises and things like that. We'll find a small guy, and I'm just going to be upfront with him and tell him what we're trying to do. See if he's up for it and how much it's going to cost.
I'm going to throw you a curveball. You guys are walking down the docks. And as you're walking down the docks, Ronan, your character, notices Grim Skullfang, Grimnar Skullfang, your longtime Vargar companion, in an altercation on the dock. He's wearing, unusually for a Vargar, full, like, Fisher, like, longshoreman's regalia. And he's obviously been a crew member on this boat. And you catch the back end of this confrontation as the captain's like, nope, that's it. Get out of here. I'm done with you. You're fired. And he growls and turns off. He doesn't see you, but he starts walking through the crowd.
I'm gonna move after him and like, hey guys, I gotta go take care of this. I gotta go talk to this guy. I'm gonna follow after him and be like, Grim, hey Grim.
Grim will turn and see you. And there'll be like a second where he's just irritated, and then there'll be the recognition on his face as he's like, Zane! Oh man, Zane! You're still alive. How you doing? And a big backslapping hug. He's real happy to see you. His tongue hangs out a little bit because he's still a Vargar and he can't help it. And he's like, well, that made my shitty day a little bit less shitty. How you doing?
I mean, it looks like I'm doing better than you. How you been?
Hard to find work on backwater like this. Nobody wants to hire a Vargar. There's a little bit of prejudice around here. It's backwater world, and I was trying to hunt all the big game on the planet, and well, it turns out that your biggest game is actually under the waves, and I have not been able to secure anyone who's willing to let me pursue it. Whenever I try, they they complain about the boat being in danger, shenanigans like that. Anyway, I was about to pack up and just head back to Galactic Alliance space, while I still had the funds to do so.
Well, I mean, we're not like the greatest crew, but my buddies and I are gonna go see if we can get a ship and go hunt this. I think it's called like a luminous crown. It's supposed to be pretty big and under the waves.
So as you say luminous crown, you see his eyes light up with a little bit of recognition. He's definitely heard of it. And he's like, oh yeah, those things are huge. Also, did you just say you have a pack now? Oh, that's so good for you, Zane. And he's like, giving you a pat on the back like you just announced you were married or something.
Yeah, the whole life of exploring space on my own for the scout service and whatnot. Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. I actually came out and became a doctor. I know, shocking.
You, a doctor?
Yeah.
I mean, last time we were hanging out, you were not exactly healing people. He gives you the Vargar equivalent of like a snarky smile. It looks like a growl, like he's baring his teeth, but you know it to be his version of a smirk.
I mean, last time we were hanging out, we were trying to kill each other, literally.
I mean, well, not the drinking afterwards, but yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I just I learned a couple things from you guys, and I didn't. just wasn't my cup of tea anymore. So I figured I'd go try to be a little bit more useful than just running around doing the exploring thing, which is entertaining because I'm now met up with a group of guys at the university, and we're going and doing the exploring thing.
Yeah, your pack. Hey, why don't you introduce me to your pack? I'd love to meet them, especially, I don't want to impose, but, if you're going after this crown,
Oh no,
I'd love to go. You know that it's like, it's really dangerous prey, right?
which is why I would love for you to come along. We're a bunch of scientists and nerdy kind of guys. They don't know my past, by the way. They have no idea.
Oh, so I shouldn't say anything. He looks down. He's got a longshoreman outfit, but he's still carrying, like most of his combat regalia underneath it. Now, obviously, he can't carry like his rifle in the open, and Dorado. That's way outside the law level. But short of that, like he kind of like tucks his longshoreman coat around it a little bit, so you can't see his gear as well.
Yeah, the rest of my pack. They think I'm just a doctor, like medical doctor kind of doctor. So let's not leak that too much. But yeah, let's go over and meet him.
Sure. He seems really excited. He's almost bouncing, as Vargar do when they like want to lope when they run, but they're bipedal now.
Yeah. So as we make our way back through the crowd, and take him over to the guys and introduce him. So hey guys, this is a friend of mine from before I came out to Esperanza. Pretty cool dude. Learned a lot from him. And if you guys don't mind, Grim here is going to join us. And Grim, this is Dr. Otto Weber, our, like, I won't say like leader, but he's kind of in charge of our group for the exploring and whatnot. And hey, Otto, is Gus around?
Of course, Gus has been fixed up and is pooping right beside me.
And this little dude next to him is Gus. He's a fun little dude to hang out with. Almost as fun as you'll get this little guy over here. And I walk over to Zigzag, and I'm like, "Have you seen one of these guys before? This is Zigzag. He's pretty badass."
He's an interesting looking little fellow. He's like a four-armed. Is it supposed to be bird-like? Sorry, that's so rude of me to say. Not it, obviously. He? Yes?
Wow.
Yes?
I'm Professor Zigzag, and I stick two of my hands out on the right side to see which one he'll grab, just because I know it's awkward.
So, I know exactly what he does. He looks at it confused for a second, and then he flips one of his hands upside down and grabs both of them and tries awkwardly to shake them both at the same time.
Grim, is it? It's nice to meet you. We've known Zane for a little while. He's a good guy. So he says you're a good guy. I believe it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about you guys. I'm so glad that, Zane finally found a pack. He was a lone wolf for a while.
Yeah, and last but not least, we have John Reese over here. Also pretty badass.
Oh, you're gonna make me blush now. But definitely nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. So you guys are fishermen now, huh? Or we're just doing this for hunting purposes? You guys are hunters? He's looking around, and you can tell he's kind of like taking in everyone's attire. He's also heard doctor and professor said multiple times.
Yeah, we're more of the scientist type than the get our hands dirty type, if you know what I mean.
Oh, so are you gonna bring like special equipment to help with this hunt? Is that you guys have scientific gizmos and gadgets?
I'm thinking about some sort of sonar. Unfortunately, our ship is in service right now, but the sensors on it would have been great. I might be able to modify something or tool something together for some deep sea sonar.
Cool.
Otto here has like expert in robotics, so he might be able to fashion me a really lifelike lure to lure this thing out from the depths. And John over there, he's just about been in everything. A very wise man, so glad to have him along too. But
Grim leans it conspiratorially. Is he the bait?
could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, I would never suggest such a thing. The human being.
So, are you a seaman yourself?
You know, I've been giving it a shot because all the big game on this planet seem to be under the water. I haven't found anything bigger than a humanoid on the surface, and honestly, I think the humans are probably the most dangerous thing on the planet.
Yeah, Zigzag nods. Yep. We're looking for a charter ship right now to find a luminous crown. Have you ever heard of one of those?
Yeah, I have heard of it. He pulls out a data pad that... Now, the people who grew up on Esperanza would know this as, like, the almost toddler version of, like, the big, exciting animals on the planet. And he's got one of those, and he's flipping it through, and he points to... He's like, right here, I see it. I can barely read these words, but I see this. This, that's got to be worth hunting. But it does say right here that it's really smart.
Oh, so my pops Bart has he's eaten one back when he was a child. Apparently, they got one and he got to taste it. He says it's phenomenal and would like to eat it again before he passes away. It's just anything that I could do for my dad, But you say it's like he said that it was smarter than some ship captains, but you say it's wicked smart too. This could be troublesome.
That's what this book says. It says right here that they're smart. It says they are very intellectual. Intellected? I can't read that word.
Intellectual.
Ah, yes, that thing. I think that means smart.
So, Grim, do you have a ship?
I don't. I was crewing on a ship, but when I wanted to chase one of the local sharks, they kicked me off. They weren't really into big game hunting, but I've met a few people on the dock. Are you looking to have one that's captained by somebody, or do you want one to rent on your own, or... I know some people.
Oh. Yeah, we were talking about that, and we actually have a captain. If right.
Yeah, Captain. Yeah.
Okay.
Zane?
So
you?
I could drive anything.
Grim nods. Not enthusiastically, but Grim nods. Okay.
He's instilled us with a lot of confidence with his abilities. We've been many places, and he's always pulled us through.
Okay.
So yeah, let's find a ship, maybe without a captain, that we could maybe just purchase an older model boat because it, could possibly not come back.
Oh my.
We? Go ahead.
That was the extent of his comment.
Let's not rule out if we find the right ship that has a captain. Let's not rule out this captain thing yet. If we find the right ship and it doesn't have a captain, yeah, I'm sure I can drive it. Do we have a picture of,
Yes.
aside from this little kid's book of things, do we have more access? Oh, sorry.
You're going to have, I'm going to call them drawings and renderings. There's going to be a couple of old pictures. I would have much preferred, Kizik, if you'd stuck all those in like a personal message. But that's fine, I'll get them from there. That explains why it was beeping at me. Sorry, I'm balancing a lot of things right now. I was originally going to hold it back for a big reveal, but since this is ghost thing, what do you think? We describe it and then reveal it, or reveal it now?
You could reveal it now. It's fine.
Okay.
So this thing is huge, and it's very, very intelligent, wicked smart. And it's got like crazy bioluminescent skin on it. There it is. And it's apparently delicious. So, yeah, some sort of lure. We might be able to get it. But because it's so smart, we might have some troubles.
You know what it eats?
Well, this could take a little while. Possibly up to a week.
Grim pipes up and says, people. It eats people.
Really, Grim? It says that in your kid's book?
Well, no, but look at it.
I bet it could eat people. It's a big boy.
Well, at least you could see it coming. Geez, that thing's pretty bright.
That's very true too. But I didn't know it came up to the surface all that often. But yeah, I haven't actually seen one. This is a cool picture, Grim.
Yeah, I got this handy book. He's very proud of his, it's basically like a Fisher-Price book. Like, it's printed on, like, those thick cardboard pages.
I love those books.
I'm playing Grim as a education of 1, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Grim, you know any boats? Or captains?
yeah, I know of an old boat we could get, on the cheap if you wanted to just buy one. It's not in the best of condition, but it'd be yours to do with as you pleased. And I know a few captains might be willing to for the right price. As soon as they know what you're going after, though, they're going to charge you quite a bit. Most of the fishermen around here are scared to go too out in deep water. The fishing is just fine along the coast, and if they go out in deep water, they run the risk of the bigger predators, of which this thing is not the only hunter out there.
Good to know. Good to know.
So if you want to buy one, I've got, a friend over here that's selling, and you just let me know. You want to spend money on getting a tour guide, or I heard that Otto is going to be the captain. I can absolutely get you a fishing boat.
Zigzag, you mind if I step away for a second? I'm gonna go see if I can look up some more information on this thing, like at the library at the university. Maybe we can prepare ourselves a little bit better.
Yeah, sure thing. That's a good idea.
Hey, Grim, you want to stay with them or come with me? I'm just gonna be looking at books.
Do you want us to source the boat while you're looking at books?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I got friends. Let's go source a boat.
Yes, I'm going to go to the university library and see if I can dig up some information, and using my biology skills, kind of see if I can find weak points in it, like how does it breathe, what's its vision, like how does it see, is it weak against anything, like if it's a deep sea fish, can it, like, and we know from the description earlier that it's lured in by light, but will, like, bright lights, even like super bright lights, blind it, stuff like that, like just kind of some basic research, so we're not just trying to figure it out while we're trying to hunt it.
Okay. Go ahead and just roll your biology. We are on this is rapid fire adventure, so we're not going to go on a big elaborate back and forth on the research. If you pass, then you know the information you need to know. Since this is an invention of ghosts, he's going to have to tell you what the answers to those questions are.
Sure can.
Don't worry. I only got a 7.
Would you like to spend one of your precious player points to make it a pass?
Nah.
I wouldn't either, but it is an option. All right, so you don't really turn up that much on it, other than that they exist and that they're dangerous and smart. You already knew all those things. In the meantime, Graham has sourced you guys an old fishing boat. It actually looks like it's in relatively good condition. It's been recently repainted. But when you get on the inside, you know, it doesn't take a master seafarer to know that this thing has seen many, many, many voyages. But it probably isn't going to sink. It's 10 grand for this. If you want to charter a boat, he can go out and find you somebody. Probably still going to cost you quite a bit of money.
Does it come with an inflatable? It's like dinghy.
Roll 2d6, add your player points as a modifier, and tell me if you pass.
Yes, I do, with a 15.
Okay. Well, in that case, yes, you find a very well-equipped, it's like a short rib boat, dinghy-style thing attached. It's got a full engine, and it's even got a steering wheel. It's quite a capable little launch craft.
Sweet. I'm pretty sold, guys. What do you think?
Got a dinghy. It's not going to go to the bottom of the ocean. I'm in.
I'm gonna look over this ship to see if it has anything else that could help us, like, you know, some sort of harpoons, yeah, or
Sensors.
yeah, sensors, or a crane, you know, for hauling in like the catch, or and although the cool little dinghy rib boat is cool, do we have another person to drive it? Cricket.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I've never been on a boat before.
Everyone can give it a shot. They don't have to have the skill. You just be untrained at it. You'll be like, this button goes forward. Oh my god! Zane, give me a luck roll for the equipment on the boat. Add your player points to the roll. All right. So with a 10, it comes equipped with sonar. It's got a crane on the back that normally attached to drag nets. However, you could probably improvise those cranes to hook to harpoons instead, but you'd have to mechanics those harpoons in.
Hey guys, I think like we could use this crane and hook some harpoons up to it. It would take a little bit of work, but I think we could do it. And it looks like we got some sonar on this thing too.
Nice. Harpoons and sonar. Perfect.
All right. So you guys, we're going to montage the shit out of that. You mount some harpoons to it. You hook them to the crane. The thing's ready to go. Ghost sorts out payment for the boat. It's registered into Zigzag's name as he is the one acquiring the purchase, it looks like. And you guys set sail with your motley crew out to find this, what did you call this thing? A light crown?
Luminous crown.
Luminous crown.
Oh man. I'm gonna spell this wrong.
Luminous crown.
Ooh, I was almost right.
I've done it wrong 3 times now.
All right. It's gonna take you 9 days. Oh no, you're in 9 hours. It's not gonna take 9 hours because we can't make it take days to get out to the spot. So 9 hours, and that's gonna put your arrival time well after sunset. As you start getting closer to the spot, you're gonna notice weather front moving in. The boat's going to start getting rocked by rougher and rougher waves, and there's going to be some rain coming down on the deck. So it's not as, beachside vacation fishing as you initially thought it was going to be. That said, Dr. Otto, who's normally driving the boat, can't help but notice that his friend Grim is out on, in the rain, hanging on, howling at the moon. He's having a grand time. He thinks this is fantastic. Everyone else, give me a dice roll to see if you get seasick. This will be an endurance check.
I got a 7.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Ghost, go ahead and roll for Bart as well. And why don't you tell me how Bart and Zigzag are getting along on this trip now that you've set sail and you're heading out here?
Bart's sicker than I am. He hasn't been on a boat in decades. And we started the trip by drinking, so that wasn't a great idea. Now we are suffering together in manly silence, throwing over all of our alcohol over the side of the ship. But it's a nice fatherly son bonding moment, maybe in a gross kind of way.
Yes, puking together. Well-known father-son bonding thing.
I got a 13.
You're just not sick ever, huh? Good.
Nope.
So, well, that's good because you're driving the boat. And had you gotten sick, I may have required an additional check. All right, so you get out to the site. You guys are marked on the map to hunt for this thing. What's our first thought?
Well, I'm gonna start some sweeps with the sonar thing that I brought, but I think John is better with the sensors than I am. John, do you mind stepping up and checking this thing out?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get that going.
Is he better
So I
with
assume
sensors? Because you know that John's current character has a 0 for sensors.
Correct.
Oh.
He's not his
I think
previous
there is
character.
I think there is someone better in the group that is probably for sensors, but I am always willing to support.
Who is it with better sensors?
Better than I got a 1,
Oh.
but I'm driving the boat.
That would be better. Well, I can hold the steering wheel for you. I have small craft.
Small craft
have
is for spacecraft.
Oh, it's not a boat.
Yeah. Seafarer is the skill you're looking for.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you,
Nope,
you,
don't
you-
got that.
you can't smudge that one because there's a specific skill for it, and it would be unfair to anyone who took that skill if I let you smudge that.
Nope, fair enough.
Can't even hold the wheel.
I mean, he
Yeah,
can,
see, hold the wheel,
he
that's it.
can at -3.
Right.
If you're in the middle of a storm, just to be clear, boat's rocking back and forth, Otto is really driving the boat.
Oh yeah, there's no hole in the wheel. That wheel is riding you.
Is Otto driving the boat or am I driving the boat?
Sorry, other one. Zane's driving
Other
the
one,
boat.
I got boxcars for my sensors check.
All right. Very first check. There's something way deep down there that is as big as a shuttle. Just a big old blurb, but it's impossible to miss on the sensors.
Gentlemen, I think we're in the right spot.
We know how far down you're seeing something?
Oh, it's deep. On the sensors, it's... How deep?
I mean, it's below the thermal layer for those who are playing Sea Power.
Real deep.
Fact.
All right. Otto, have you put together a lure yet?
I was working on that. Hold on. The rocking is not very good to me.
Make it really bright with multicolors.
Even the ultraviolet spectrum.
Oh yes, I can see in ultraviolet, I think.
So I'm going to turn the ship so the waves are coming up behind us. So it will smooth out the ride. So hopefully that will help you work on your lures.
Show off.
I mean, it might help that I actually know how to drive ships.
Like I said. All right, so
Skills.
Kizik, what's your score?
That was a 9.
Okay. He puts together. So he basically just takes apart a normal buoy and he inserts a bunch of light wavelength emitters, and it takes him very little time to put one together. And now that he's replaced all its guts with this stuff, it no longer floats. So it's got an anchor point at one end for a rope, and then an on-off switch. What do you want to do with it?
That's a lure. You throw it in the water, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sink it.
I'll put it on some kind of thing so we can pull it up and down.
Okay. Do you attach it to the crane? That's really what I'm asking. I wasn't asking for the obviously you're going to throw it in the water. I was asking how you're going to do that.
Before we throw this overboard, like what is our intent once it follows the lure? Like, is it just we want it on the crane, it goes, it eats the thing, and then we pull it in with the crane?
So I kind of expected this. We drop the lure in and we bring it to the surface, it following the lure, and then we harpoon it and attach the harpoon to the crane and pull it in.
Okay.
Is that not how everybody else saw it? I didn't really explain this.
Do we only have the one lure?
Right now, but they're rather simple to make.
So basically, we're just teasing the thing, trying to get it to come up higher so we hit it with the harpoon.
That's Zigzag's plan. What do you guys think?
I think the book that Grim has says it's smart. And just dragging a lure behind us, it's either not going to fall for it or it's going to be bad for us.
I see.
Like, maybe we make more lures, and like see if we can get them on like a timer. And I'm just throwing out random things that just random thoughts, because I have no experience hunting this thing. But like, put like timers on them, so we could put like 5 or 6 lures out there, and then just have them like blink 5 or 6 times, and then stop, and then the next one goes, and try to get the big fish thing to come up. Meanwhile, we either sit in the center of all the lures and turn off all of our lights, so because we, from what we know, it's attracted to the lights, and then we once it's up and going between lures, we can then aim and hit it with the harpoon.
I like
And
this plan.
again, there's just random ideas. And it
Otto,
maybe
more
confuse
lures.
it a little bit. Potentially.
Maybe some
Open.
way we could try and taunt it or something like that. Just kind of piss it off so it tries to attack us or attack the buoy.
I mean,
That's an
it's
idea
bigger
too.
it's bigger than us.
That's very
I don't-
true.
I don't know that we want it to attack us. It's bigger than us, and it's on its home turf.
Well, I was thinking of just the buoy, obviously not us, but
Oh, okay.
trying to get it to the top of the, at least within harpoon range.
No, that's a decent idea. How would you piss it off? Do you have
Oh, I
any
don't know.
ideas? Oh no. Okay.
No, hopefully this thing is actually the thing that we're looking for too. I mean, we don't have any cameras or anything like that to go down there. We have just some, the sonar or the radar actually kind of giving us an idea that something big is down there. Hopefully that's what we're looking for.
You're right. We should have bought a submarine.
We could see if Otto or any of us can crank up the power to the sonar, and we could and make one of the buoys do like a floodlight kind of thing, and just confuse it with loud noises and bright lights among the other lights, and just realizing that the sonar gives away our position.
The lightning cracks. The waves get rougher. The wind picks up. Go ahead and give me a seafarer's check there, Rex.
Yes, sir.
Otto, you need help making lures?
Making like 10 of them, and we're gonna string them all together from one big old string. Is that what I got from that?
Make
don't
them
need to be-
emit noise too. That's a good idea. If it's like so deep in the ocean, and it might have echolocation or something like that, and it would be very sensitive.
You want like a vocoder or you want just a thing inside that clinks so that the buoy makes a clink 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 sound.
Yeah, just something annoying.
Alrighty. And you said
Is
you're helping me
seafarer-
out with.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Seafarer dexterity.
Yes, driving a vehicle is dexterity.
12.
Excellent. So the storm is beyond a normal mariner's ability to keep the boat aligned. However, with a 12, you are, partially because you aligned with the waves earlier and you're keeping it that way, while you've been having this conversation, this very long conversation about how to do this, you've been up on the bridge doing minor corrections. It's now getting to the point where the sea is getting very dangerous for where you're at. And you feel like you have a limited window to execute your plan. That was my subtle nudge.
Yeah, very subtle.
Yeah.
Throw the damn lures over. What'd you get on?
That's a 9.
Okay. You make 10 lures.
All right. So we get 50 meters of rope, 100 meters of rope, and tie them all together.
John, help us drop them in. All right, so these things sink, and they're blinky noise-making-ness.
And you've got them attached to the boat?
I think they're free-floating.
Okay, so you're
They should
attaching
be.
them to a floating buoy with a line that goes down to the part that sinks.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. These are really roiling seas.
Yes.
Okay. You guys deploy your buoys. They're out there blinking. What kind of pattern are you laying them in?
I think they're going, like, here's the ocean. We're up here. We drop, here's the floaty buoy. And then it's like this. Right?
Oh, they're all on one string. That's a helpful illustration.
Okay. That's how I'm imagining it.
Okay. All right, you drop this thing. Boop boop, boop boop, boop boop. As you're watching the sonar, it absolutely attracts the large sonar signal, which starts moving rapidly towards the buoy string.
I got a blip and a boop. And I think we got an incoming, guys. Who's on the harpoon?
You hear a Vargar howl from one of the harpoons. There are 2 harpoon stations, both attached to winches on the crane. There is a third harpoon station on the front that is not attached to a crane. It's just a harpoon. You could attach it to a thin cable on the front, but not anything heavy like the crane. So 2 in the back, 1 in the front.
Who's taking one?
It's not near the surface yet.
I know. I just want someone to call it so that.
I thought that was directed at me. My bad.
No, I'm sorry.
Still driving. Not 1, 2, 3. Not it.
Right.
I'll take the one on the front.
I'll go and grab one.
Wow, that works
Thanks.
out. Yeah. Okay, so you watch as the blip gets closer to the line of buoys, and as soon as it gets there, you immediately see the surface buoy. Even though those seas roll, it just goes under, like instantly. The thing is bitten the buoys and is run off for a second with it, and within 3 minutes. Wow. I guess I should give you guys the 3 minutes because you could do a lot in 3 minutes. So I'll say it just runs off with it right now. Don't everybody
I don't
act
see
like
anything. The buoy went under.
Okay, buoy should be easy to track. It's making noise. You want me to follow it? Okay, I'm following it.
In the storm. Yeah.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah, it's on sonar because it makes noise.
Okay, great. Gotcha. Okay. I'll see if that thing pops back up. At least we'll know it's getting closer to the surface, right?
Hey, give me seafarers and sensor checks to track and follow.
Nine.
Oh no, I snake eyes my sensors roll. It ends up being a 4.
Okay. So, the big blip seems to stop. Seems to freeze in place for a second, as though the instrumentation is garbled. When it comes back on, you see that Zane picked the right course. He guessed because there were no sensors at where to go. But the buoy is like coming back towards the surface. Like you can see it distinctly on the sonar, which you shouldn't be able to do. And then you realize you can see it because it's rapidly approaching the boat and it's almost at the surface. The buoy then smacks into the sensor array and knocks the sonar out. Then the buoy is released and the buoy comes back to the surface and the big thing swims away.
Holy shit! You guys okay?
That was really crazy. You think we need a bigger boat?
Yeah. We might need a bigger boat. Nobody tried to get a shot off. Oh.
That just happened so quick. I didn't even get a chance to know what was going on. That was really fast.
I don't think it came to the surface, Grim says. I was looking for it.
So just spat the buoys out at us? Sonar's knocked out. I can't use it anymore. Bart, this is insane. Bart's like, but it tastes delicious.
Unless somebody else has some good ideas, like we're no longer in our comfort zone, and we don't have a sonar, and we don't have our buoys, and the weather's crap.
You want to retreat?
I'm just stating facts. I'll drive the boat wherever you want me to go, Zigzag. This is your deal.
So the sonar is that repairable at all, or is it completely lost part of it and it's just sinking towards the bottom of the ocean?
I mean, the only way we would know is to get off the ship and go underneath it and take a look at it, which I highly would recommend against doing.
But there are wetsuits, scuba tanks on the ship.
In a thunderstorm, and
He's just
still
stating
highly
facts.
recommend against. Yeah,
Grim's like, I'll do it.
The water underneath the storm, underneath the waves. That's normal ass water, right? I'm just kidding. I know better.
I mean it is, but the depth is considerably deeper than.
Bart, listen. I don't know if the rest of us really want to die over a big fish.
And Bart looks very sad.
Why don't we come back out here with a bigger boat? Like, I'll make some more money. This was a cool, fun fishing trip, Bart. But we are way overmatched. We did this wrong. Why don't we think about this and we'll come back, maybe with a large nuclear submarine.
And a plan.
Bart
Submarine would be perfect, yeah.
All right. I understand. And then look, it was a lot of fun. I got to spend some quality dad time with you, but we should limp home. Hey, and now we got a boat. That's cool. Yeah.
And we can always try this again with calmer seas.
Grim, you got any ideas or opinions?
I mean, I think I could fix that sonar. I mean, I think we did it. We must have aggravated it. Look what it did. It attacked us. I mean, it's really smart. You had to expect that it wasn't going to fall for, just a static lure. But
Agreed.
if we get it up to the surface, I don't think it'll be able to argue with a harpoon. This scuba mask doesn't fit my snout, though. I'd have to hold my breath to work on the sonar. It's not ideal,
Oh man.
but I'd do it.
All right. One last Hail Mary. You go under, you fix the sonar to just blast out annoying pop music, and we'll lure that thing in and we'll spike it. What do you guys say? One last try.
Turn all the lights on the ship. Gun it and turn the sonar on and make it follow us and shoot it with harpoons. That's our plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's do this. What could go wrong? Hey, Grim, so can we give you like a never mind. It wouldn't work.
Grim's already in a wetsuit and like tying a line around his waist. He also looks like he's having the time of his life.
Look at Grim. He's just off and running, man.
All right.
He's off, all right.
World's better when you're not smart enough to know you're in danger.
I love this dog.
All right, guys. The sea is about to get really rough because I'm gonna turn the engine off.
So he hands the other end of the rope, or he hands the rope that he's got that is like attached to his waist to John, and he says, "All right, so here's the deal. You need to feel on this line. 3 tugs means pull me up, okay?"
Okay, 3 tugs, pull you up. Got it.
Yeah.
Did we tie this? Did you tie it off with something here? I mean, or am I just holding on to the rope?
He did not. It's just in a coil. He can just slap on the shoulder. It's like, it's going to work. It's going to be fine. Thanks. So, remember, my life is in your hands. No pressure. And then he jumps overboard.
Hey, where are you going? Oh my gosh! Somebody help me tie off this rope.
I hustle back from the front of the ship.
So, I made 2 rolls. One was for Grim to repair the device. That was an 11. The other was for him to be able to find his way back in the pitch inky black, even though the lights are all on the boat. It's very disorienting being underwater at night during a storm. And he rolled a 4. So John's going to feel a series of tugs. Give me a recon check.
Was that 2 tugs? And then a pause? And then 1 tug?
That's what the recon check's for.
So we have a 9.
He wants you to pull him up. You're pretty sure.
All right, I'm pretty sure it's time to pull him up. I'm starting to pull him up here, guys.
Athletic strength, anyone can help that wants to help. And it can be a group effort by multiple people.
This is definitely going to need to be a group effort, guys. Whoever's got some hands free, come help me.
Otto's right beside you.
Yep, my 4 hands are here.
Okay. So I'm just going to give you, you're going to get a bonus dice and you get a +1 for every additional person. 3 dice, and I guess it's +2 because you've got 2 people helping.
All right, 3 dice and a +2.
You need a 10 to pass.
So I rolled a 9 plus 2 is 11.
Excellent. So you go ahead and you hoist Graham up, and he comes up over the edge. He's like, "Yeah, I got it. I didn't know how to fix it properly, so I just wired the power into the emitter thing, and oh my god, it sounds so terrible down there. I mean, I know you humans can't hear it, but it's awful."
Oh gosh, you're crazy, man. Jeez, I can't believe we. All right, so gosh, we're good to go. Tell Zane.
Everyone who's on the deck, Actually, everybody, because you'll be able to see from the bridge too. Give me a quick recon check. Anyone who passes is going to notice that there's like a lightning storm underneath the water forming all around the boat.
Totally did
7.
not pass.
Did anybody pass?
Yeah, I passed. Guys, that's all I can squeal out. Get on the harpoons.
Ah,
Oh, you see something? All right, I'm going to get the harpoon.
Who here has played Sea of Thieves and fought a Meg?
I have.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Okay, well, that Meg music starts playing. And then this luminescent crest. And understand that the water is now literally electrified. So your newly functioning sensors, they're just scrambled. Sorry, they weren't functioning. But like there's electric arcing off like the railings of the boat. The entire sea has become a unnatural conduit that shouldn't exist now. And you suddenly realize that there's more to this thing than you thought there was.
Electric fishy.
Yeah, this is getting pretty scary, guys.
I'm totally gonna gun it.
Gun it, Captain.
All right, who's on the front and who's on the back, Harpoon?
I'm on the back.
Okay. With this,
I'm on the front.
with the sensors out, what's Zigzag doing?
I'm gonna assist with my sticky grip. Hopefully, I can navigate the ship a little bit. So, whoever needs assistance, I think. But right now, I'm probably up front.
Okay. On the port side of the ship, which is the side that John is on, there's an appendage, like this little crest above this thing's head. Just barely comes up above the water. It's just heading towards the boat at incredibly high speed. There's enough reaction time for John to get a shot with a 8+. There is enough reaction time for Kizik to swing the front around and get a shot with a 10+. This is, by the way, heavy weapons vehicle.
Wonderful.
We got this.
I have Zigzag here helping me.
He said
I
it,
can.
said it was on the front.
Got a 9.
With the recon.
You got a 9? Wow, good job.
I did. That's even with my -3.
Well, you shouldn't have a -3 because your heavy weapon says 0.
Heavy weapons. Oh, yeah. Why does it say? Okay, so it does say 0. Never mind. I looking at my chart. I never carried my zeros down. My bad. So yeah. So I apologize. So it's a 12.
Nice.
Okay. What about you, Kizik?
I rolled a 9. -3 is a 6. +1 is a 7.
Okay. Yours does not hit. But John's is the one that's hooked into the crane. So, first off, John, roll me 4d6s for damage.
The 4d6s came up as 12.
Okay. I mean, I need to keep track of that, but I doubt you're going to kill it that way. But let's keep track of it anyway. All right. You have hooked a harpoon. You hear the motor from the crane winch behind you start making that. I mean, everybody knows the sound when you force an electric motor to turn and it doesn't want to. It's making that in an incredible speed. And line is just feeding out of the winch as this thing goes underneath the boat. Having been hit by this thing, it's now diving and going underneath the boat. So the line is now not only feeding out to it at a rapid pace, but because it went underneath the boat, it's coming over the railing and acting like a wire saw. And it has already cut through the first layer of railing as it continues to be fed out. What do you guys do?
I'm definitely going to pay attention to that thing cutting everything in the boat in half here. I'm going to try and get out of the way.
It's gonna cut the boat in half.
Was it cutting the railing or the boat? I apologize.
It's cutting the boat. Yes, it's a wire saw that is now sucking underneath. I think everybody kind of gets it.
Nope, gotcha.
It's dangerous. Someone who's back there should probably alert everyone else, maybe the person driving the boat, to the situation, and then try to do something about it.
Hey Zane, we got I got a hold of it. I shot it. It's wrapping itself around the boat here. It got the cord, and it's. I'm gonna go over here and try and cut that cord or cable loose. So, but yeah, the boat is getting very damaged, and I think it's getting cut in half here. This is nuts.
If you cut a cable under tension, it's gonna snap back and rip you in half.
Okay, so I'm not gonna cut the cable in half then. So we're gonna lose our boat.
I'm going to turn the ship.
There you go.
Away from the fish so that so I'm swimming one way.
So that you're pulling.
Yes.
Yes.
So
seafarer check, please.
Yes.
See, this is why you're the captain, man. I things like this, I just I don't get it.
Oh, that's such a good time for that roll.
It's a good time for a 15.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, 14.
Whoop.
All right. You yank this thing, and while your electronics are going absolutely batshit haywire because this thing's now feeding high voltage back into your boat, you have hooked this thing like a fishing line, and you gunning the engine and pulling on it that way is acting like a drag on it. So you are keeping it from cutting the boat in half, and you are slowing it down. Like you can feel it through the boat's helm as you're trying to fight it and wear it down. Like it turns one way and you can feel it tugging, and you can turn the other way. And with a 15, you're basically hanging on to the helm with one hand, you're hanging on to the hand railing above you with the other, and looking behind you, watching the line as you adjust the thing. And you're doing a great job of pulling this thing out now. What's everyone else want to do while he's doing this?
Recommend death charge.
I'm actually going to run over and see if I can reload the harpoon.
Okay. There are several spare harpoons by the harpoon gun. They're meant to hook into the line that's currently coming out of the crane. But you can load the harpoon. I'm not even going to require a check for it, but it will take your action to do it.
Gotcha.
I probably should have made you do a check to make sure you didn't fall overboard. In fact, I'm going to go back on my word. Give me a dexterity check to make sure you don't fall off the boat, because you're going to have to be leaning over the railing to do that.
All right, this is this is going to be wonderful, guys. So I have a 3.
Okay. Everyone give me a listen check, which is a perception check, which is a recon check, to see if they hear in all of this chaos John go overboard. And I rolled for Grim, and he got a 10 right out of the gate, so I think someone is going to hear.
My 3 probably doesn't hear.
I got a 14 though.
Okay.
My 10.
Excellent. So everybody but the guy driving the boat is aware that one of the team members just fell overboard. Grim's going to run over the edge and be like, "Man, overboard!" And he is going to pick up one of those like life preservers and try to chuck it at Reese. Give him something to hang on to in the storm, but he's really not that great. And it's a big storm. So it's going to land like 2 or 3 meters away, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're in a pitching ocean. So there's that. And what's Zigzag and Otto doing?
I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna grab a life preserver and rope, and I'm also going to toss it out, and hopefully my throw is better than Grim's throw. No offense, Grim. But I'm trying to save my friend, John Reese, which I have an excellent dexterity score. So,
A 12 or more will basically lasso him.
okay, I did get a 12 exact.
I'll take it. So you throw yours out, and it actually wraps around John, and the rope wraps around him, and you are able to, with your dexterity, kind of loop him around and pull it taut. So he's lassoed like a steer, and now you just need to pull him in.
Come on, buddy. I'm gonna need help with this. I'm tiny.
Otto's right there beside you.
Excellent. Help me, Otto. Actually, you do the roll, and I'll assist you.
Oh, that is not the correct way to do that.
Oh.
It's got to be if it's athletics.
Oh, I rolled really well. I rolled a 11. I have a -3 and then a -1 for a 7.
Awesome. So you guys are able to, he doesn't go any further away from the boat, but he also doesn't get pulled in. But because the boat is moving, he's now drifting towards the crane line that is hooked into the fish. And the fish is sending electrical bolts through said crane line. Okay.
Zappity zap. Don't talk back.
Right? It is going to be the top of this round. So anyone can go. I want to list I want to list what the fish is doing first. It is no longer swimming away from the boat. One of the first things that Zane driving the boat will notice is that suddenly you're not pulling against it. Suddenly you're all the way up to full throttle and it's going, and as you look back you can start to see that the line has started to slack.
Hey guys, the fish is coming our way, and he's coming our way fast.
We gotta get John out of the water.
Okay, I'm going to hard right rudder, because otherwise you're going to pull John right into the screw, which is going to be very pretty, but pretty dangerous for John. So now that we have some slack, I'm going to turn the ship so that hopefully we can get John on the boat. And I recommend somebody does something else with killing the bad guy fish thing. Recommend upcharge.
I still need a seafarer check from you there.
Yes, sir.
But all very wise moves. You guys are doing great. Well,
11.
Most of you guys are doing great. Okay, we got 7 minutes to wrap it up.
11.
Otto, make a bomb. I'm gonna try to save John.
Okay, in combat time, making a bomb. I want to know how Otto does this. Also, making a bomb, I'm pretty sure is a demolition skill.
Not good at that. I was looking. Sorry. Oh man, there's got to be a barrel of oil. This is a oldish ship. I'm going to have a barrel of oil. I'm going to put a rope into it. That rope is going to. I'm going to have a fuse that goes down to the barrel of oil. I'm going to make sure the barrel of oil's got enough pressure in there, and I'm pushing a barrel of oil and lighting a fuse as it's dropping down into the ocean.
Okay,
6
Acme
seconds.
Inc. I like it for a 6-second solution, but it's probably not going to work, which is convenient because let's get your demolitions roll. Maybe he pulls something a miracle out. He could do it.
Rolled an 8 -3 plus
Intellect
is 2 is a 7.
Okay, you do all of those things. You catch it on fire. It looks like a great big Molotov cocktail. You roll it in the water. It immediately goes out. As soon as it hits the water, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean.
Gotta use that oil. I'm gonna try to pull John in.
Okay.
My athletics is a wash, so it's whatever I get on the dice. Oh yeah, okay, I got a 9.
Excellent. You find a winch. It's like for regular fishing poles, and you just start pulling him in.
Hey, lady, what are you doing here? Just kidding.
So you pull him in. Ronan, what was Zach's or sorry, Zane's check.
11.
11. All right. So that puts your total effect. I think you're there. All right. So you're manipulating the helm. You're trying not to get John killed. You're trying to also keep enough tension. Like, you're trying to maneuver the boat so that you keep enough tension on the line to tire out the big fish. And you look back this time and you see it's come to the surface. It's come all the way to the top, and you can see that luminescent crest. Also, the intensity of the lightning strikes is slowed down significantly. John, you can pull yourself onto the deck, and you can take a maneuver, but not a full action after getting pulled up on the deck.
Well, I'm definitely going to be grabbing a hold of that deck and just kind of taking a deep breath of fresh air and trying to recuperate. I'm going to try and crawl over to the harpoon station.
Okay. And Grim, who is on the other harpoon, is going to try to take a shot at the thing now that it's come to the surface, and he rolls a 9, so he is going to hit. You now have 2 lines in this thing.
Bart also steps out with a 50 cal.
Yes.
Just smile.
Bart has a big game rifle.
It's
Yeah.
It's kind of a poetic scene. Yeah.
Yeah, big game rifle. That's fine.
Big game rifle. It just
You know what? The barrel bobs back up right next to it. Go ahead and roll for Bart.
Yes, there you go.
Well, go
The
ahead
barrel.
and roll for Bart. Let's say that all his years of experience give him a +2 to his skill, but his age gives him a -1 to his dexterity.
Okay. All right, so then it's a 7. I would burn a player point on this.
You can, or you can take another shot, but you have to say it when you hit. So that first shot goes wide, and it doesn't hit, but Bart's still on the deck. The harpoons are in. Ronan, give me another Seafarer check to keep this thing taut on the line and on the surface.
Oh no! 7.
Okay. Winch 1, the one that was hooked first, groans and creaks, and the whole apparatus just rips off the back of the boat. You're now down to 1 winch, and the thing starts tugging and slashing and thrashing back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Bart can make another roll, and then we'll go into what everyone else does.
The roll is it's 11 total. He says, "Smile, you son of a bitch."
And it explodes. The fuel barrel takes a hit from an incendiary round from a 50 caliber. It goes through the barrel and into the eye of the giant fish. The explosion rips about half the thing's face off, and luminescent blood sprays so high into the sky that it covers parts of the boat.
Oh, it's like the predator blood.
The lightning stops. The fish is still hooked on the 1 harpoon. And you guys have caught it.
Holy moly. I had no idea it was going to end up like that. That was good.
We're going to pull it in, and we're going to have a feast. Start up the grill.
Yep.
We're going to eat this thing.
You go ahead and montage that shit for me, since it was your story, and Ronan, you can montage any scenes you want with Grim after Ghost is done, and that actually take care of both of your suggestions.
Oh, clever. Well, our montage is us headed back. I think it was 9 hours. We're gonna celebrate in trauma bond, I think, over this. And eat this thing, which it probably tastes awful. After all of that, it would just be poetic irony for it to taste absolutely disgusting. But Bart,
is mighty appreciative of everybody. And anytime you gentlemen want to come down to the bodega, Bart will offer you free food. He's an excellent cook, and he does his best with the luminous crown. It might just be that its spitefulness has tainted this meat for all of us, except Bart, who proudly will sell it in his shop for anybody that wants to try luminous crown.
The crown itself ends up being mounted as a trophy in the shop.
That's cool.
And provides ambient lighting even when the lights are off. And if we build that shop as a setting, which I kind of want to do now, like as a tabletop map, we need to put that in there.
And 4.
So, fantastic. Ronan, how are you and Grim catching up? And what would you like for this meeting with Grim, which he's thrilled to have completed his hunt? It was very important to him to hunt big game on the planet. How does your meeting with him end here?
So Grim and I are like, once we get back in town, we're gonna go get beers like we always do at the bar. And he's like super thankful for like that we stuck together and helped him out, and he was thankful to the rest of the guys for allowing him to help finish his personal quest to get big game hunting. But he is kind of wondering, like, what's like why have I decided to stop what I was doing beforehand, and if I wanted to like go join him and go hunt bigger game and stop being a doctor and go back to the way things were and whatnot. But I leave him with that I'm feeling useful and doing what I need to do to continue learning and expanding knowledge and helping people and whatnot. But if he needs us to help with anything, again, just let us know.
All right. That's a good little montage for the end of that scene. And that was a good little mini adventure. We ran a little bit over, but since I put 2 of them together, it didn't matter. Notes for the future. Okay. So you guys make it back after that. That whole debacle that took a little bit of your time. We'll say it took about a week. Ship's still in dry dock. You guys are getting regular status updates. One day you guys get a call from Otto. Otto has a little shop at the edge of the city. And in Otto's little shop at the edge of the city, he's been working on a project. And I think he's going to be excited to tell you guys about it.
Am I starting the league, or did I find a league to join?
I believe we initially said that you found it, but that you were going to, one of those participants was going to be yours. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and preface this. Those all look 200 years too advanced to be the level of technology you're going to find here in Esperanza. So we're going to say that they're not as advanced as they look. People have put shiny shells on much less advanced robots. The Robot Wars stuff we do is basically just one notch down from what you would find here.
All right. Of those ones, which one did Otto make?
That's up to you, man. It's your story.
I know which one I picked, but I just want to know if everybody else also picked the same one.
Oh, well, since it's in a public chat, they can all look at that and tell you that. Obviously you're the butler. But you have to do this whole introduction to the group because they have no idea.
Yeah. Hey, oh my goodness, guys, I can't believe come to my shop. It says, oh my goodness, I can't believe I found it. This is awesome, guys. As soon as you get here, come on.
getting this anxious message, I'm assuming that all of you show up, like in one of the automated taxi cabs that Dorado has.
The queue line just bloop bloops.
Yeah. Hold on,
Guys.
Oh yeah, I'm headed down the queue. I'm gonna head to your shop. What do you got? I'm excited. I mean, it's got to be Gus, because the only thing that gets him this excited is Gus.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Well, unless he has another thing that's like Gus, but yeah, that'd be good.
All right.
You guys made it? So we don't have a good steward droid for our ship. So I took the servo that I got from the ghost planet, and I put it in the arm of this guy right here. His name is the Butler, and it turns out that on Esperanza they've got a like robot wrestling league. It's called the Robot Rumble Union, and I was gonna put Gus into it, but it was very violent. So I made the Butler, and this is you have to control them. You can't let them use their automated trusses, and they go into the rink, and it's cool, right? Look at him. He's here. He's got a tray, like he's gonna serve them drinks, and then he's gonna serve them justice as he kicks their butts. It's gonna be awesome.
This is you said wrestling or wrestling?
It's like a robot wrestling combat fighting championship.
Oh, like okay. And we control them?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. So you've got a couple of them here.
Well, I've made the Butler, and there's a whole bunch of other ones in the league, and I'm gonna join it, and it's gonna be awesome. And maybe if the Butler does pretty good, then the Butler can help out on our ship as just a steward droid until we need to fight some more like military combatants, because that was super scary. Might be able to help us out, like what was her name? Like Tina's loader droid. It's just a loader droid until it was a snow assassin that saved John's life, saved my life probably.
That's a great idea. Okay, so you built this thing and you joined the league. When's your first fight?
It's coming up soon. Maybe
Tonight.
Maybe. Oh, it's tonight. Yeah, I remember.
Speed and power.
I'd love to be. I'd love to go.
So, to set the scene, the arena for you changed what name I thought it was, the Robot Wrestling Union. Is that what it's called?
I called it the Robo Rumble Union.
Robo Rumble Union. Awesome. If you could throw that in chat so it's all together for my notes later. So you guys go, and basically the area this used to be a giant like water holding tank for water treatment that they basically put like high school steel bleachers around the outside edges, and then down in the tank they're basically just robots fighting to the death. There's some obstacles and shit down there, and there's this plexiglass that totally makes it safe, protecting the bystanders. Most of them is just hand-to-hand wrestling style combat. Some of them do have implements and tools that they are allowed to use in special fights. So, and it is, I mean, let's just be honest, it's WWF for robots. Like, and it draws that kind of crowd. Very loud, very enthusiastic. Beers are, 10 times their normal cost, and it's a big event as you guys walk into this thing. and like there were tickets and stuff like that, but you guys get a pass because one of the robot contestant drivers. As was pointed out by Kizik, it has to be driven by an operator. Kizik, could you name these for me? To cut my tasking back a little bit. So the arena is one of those things that is very makeshift, but also like it's a big business around here. There's lots of commerce going on around here. Is that gonna work? Oh, it does work. Okay. For a minute there, I thought my blank canvas didn't work. You know what? It wouldn't be that color. It would be... That wouldn't be that shape. Okay. So here you go. There's a square. There's stands on either side. Feel free to help my limited artistic abilities. Creative interpretations. There's some huge announcer type who's in this corner we have the butler, and in this corner we have the iron grappler. And as you guys sit down at the bleachers, you'll notice that your mobile comms, your cell phones, pipe up with an automated localized app that basically allows you to bet and see statistics and all this sort of things, and it can be completely gambling and interactive. It also shows the drivers, so Otto is listed as the driver of the butler, and the butler is listed as actually like carrying a tray onto the map. That's with his strong arm, and being a new up-and-comer, as of where, Iron Grappler's been around for quite some time. This is a melee weapon-capable match, so there are various implements scattered around the arena, like clubs and stuff that can be picked up and used. And then the timer starts, and it's about to go live. All of you have the opportunity to make bets if you'd like to bet for or against your teammate.
I'm going to put 500 down on the butler.
Okay. You hit your button, 500 down on the butler. Do you have a gambling ability? Do you have gambling skill?
I do not.
Okay. That's no problem. It doesn't mean you can't do it. I just was going to give bonuses for anyone who has the gambler skill, because it so rarely comes in handy. Okay, so the bell dings, and Kizik, how do you start this?
I've been playing around. I know exactly, like, my strategy is to walk up awkwardly and then super surprise smash with a regular hand, not the advanced hand.
Okay, so you're just going to walk towards him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. Roll your remote ops.
That's a 9.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a 1d6 roll, as basically the droid looks like it wants to grapple with you, runs right up towards you, you walk towards it, and then you smash it in the face with your regular hand.
I rolled a 6.
Ooh, very impressive amount of damage for an opening volley. You smash this thing in the face, the crowd goes, "Oh!" And the announcer's like, "Oh man, that's an opening for the newcomer. Look at that. He's smashed up all this plating." And at this point, those of you who are watching or are more technically savvy can realize that while these things look super shiny, that's plastic. Like, all that stuff on the outside. Like, when he hits them in the face, he smashes quite a bit. They're very pretty, but they're not very sturdy.
Makes it cheaper. It's PLA.
Yeah. And then after that round, or that round of combat, you all also notice on your app that the spectators can vote on things like activate live traps, activate turrets, like all sorts of intervention stuff that can go in, or things like supercharge arena. You don't even know what that does.
Ooh, there's buttons.
Totally pushing the supercharge arena button.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
The votes for Supercharge Arena start climbing and climbing. And then it basically goes ding, ding, ding. And Supercharge Arena is selected. And two things happen. First and foremost, the weapons available are sucked down into their stations and then come back up. And instead of like a regular club, now there's like a chain drive sword and other like really devastating melee weapons like that. And actual arcs of electricity supercharge the actual droids. They have these plugins that let them do more damage and have more power. So now the attacks from the actual robots will do more damage. Kizik, what's your next plan of action?
I want to pick up one of those chain drive swords.
Okay. Let me roll something real fast. All right, so the closest one is actually behind you, and you'd have to run back towards the opening of your arena. You'd have to turn your back to your opponent. Or you could try to power through and go to his side of the arena.
I would say, "Oh, excuse me, sir," and I would try to like pirouette around him whilst still holding my tray perfectly balanced, and that's like super gyroscopically there. So I'm going to spin around him and try to get through to his side.
Okay. Go ahead and roll remote ops. Ooh, this is going to be tough to beat.
7 doesn't beat it.
No, not even close. Okay, so you try to pirouette around. This one grabs you and throws you up into the air. Ooh. Throws you up into the air. Your droid smacks the ceiling. The tray goes flying away from it, and then it lands on the ground, and it does 10 damage. I forgot to ask if you actually gave him stats.
I definitely did not. I should.
Okay, hold on. Just roll 4d6, and those are his hit points. And then give him 1 point of armor.
16 hit points.
Okay, so a 10 is 9 of those hit points. So lots of plastic pieces shattering everywhere. Crowd goes, "Oh man!" And big buzzers are going off. This fight is almost over. That was a great move by the Iron Grappler.
Miss, can I have a drink?
Lady brings you a overpriced beer.
Thank you.
Spamming the turret button.
Oh yeah, going for the turret button. Anyone else going for the turret button?
Yeah, me too.
Yep, same here.
I'm
Hopefully
sorry, Otto.
target the Iron Grappler.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if we can select a target, that'd be great.
It doesn't actually let you select targets, but also not enough people voted for it to activate it. It came to a 7, not an 8. Okay, so the beginning of the next round happens.
I'm on the ground. He's kind of close to me.
You are on the ground. He is kind of close to you. That is correct.
Excellent. When he gets really close, I'm going to use my super-powered arm to try to lift him into the ceiling like he threw me into the ceiling.
Okay. So you activate the special servos on your special arm. Go ahead and roll your attack. It's a 4 to beat because he rolled poorly.
I got an 8.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 4d6 for damage. Because it's your special arm and it's supercharged.
That's 10 damage.
Okay. You throw the Iron Grappler into the ceiling. And then he comes slamming back down. And his head kind of like pops ajar, and all the little lights go off. And the crowd goes wild. The Butler's won his first match. Yeah! Don't everybody celebrate at once.
That was a
Oh.
good match.
Good job, Otto. Man, nice.
No turrets.
Hey, I won
Maybe.
money.
You did. You won twice your money back.
Sweet, got a grand.
Okay, so you get back to the back. There's like printers available to reprint body parts, and obviously there's mechanical damage that has to be sussed out too. So your friends are allowed to come back there to the holding area with you, where you're working on your droid. And as you're working on your droid, the butler turns and looks at you and it said, "That hurt." But it says it in an elderly old lady's voice.
The butler. Who? Huh?
Did not see that coming.
Nope, nobody did.
Are you okay?
Diagnostics indicate that I have some minor structural damage and significant cosmetic damage.
But you said that. Yeah. Let's get you repaired up.
Why? Why are we doing this?
I mean, I needed to build a thing and prove that it could protect my crew. I was unprepared the first time, and this is how I know that I can help them in the future.
You're doing this to protect your crew, not generate income.
I'm not making any money off of this. Actually, I might be. I didn't look at the rules all the way. I probably should have before I signed up. But I wanted to make sure that the next time there were armed people trying to attack my crew, instead of me shooting aimlessly and running into a room and locking a door or forgetting to lock the door, I could call on the butler and he could help us out.
It's an interesting choice for a thief.
You're the ghost lady from the other thing. I fixed your robot for you. I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would miss this one piece. I'll bring it back if that's what you want.
Ghost lady. Interesting. And it doesn't really say much else as you continue to repair its cosmetic damage. And you get the 30-minute warning for the next match. Oh, sorry, let's go ahead and say the next match happens, but you're not in it. You get the 30-minute warning for your next match.
Is everybody else in here with me as I'm talking to the ghost lady?
I'm kind of standing in awe, just mouth open and just going, this is really creepy.
Otto, this is kind of cheating.
I mean,
It's supposed to be under your control. This is not under your control.
Yeah, it's like this is like AI versus a puppet.
I told him to do the uppercut.
From Otto's perspective, you were in complete control the whole time.
Yeah, I think I was doing it. I just she's the ghost lady. Man.
She probably doesn't like being called that.
She said, ouch, that hurts, so I shouldn't get hurt anymore.
Well, that brings a whole new problem. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go gamble on this next match. You got this, buddy.
I didn't hear that. Oh, no, I'm going to have to lie to a ghost lady. Oh, son of a gun. I'm going to keep going. I got it. The butler's going to be okay.
So is she like pissed at you for, taking that stuff?
She called me a thief. I said I fixed your thing and I'd bring it back if I want. And then she stopped talking to me.
I feel like she has a name.
Do you remember what it was?
Looking through my notes now. I think it starts with a D, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll let you know if I find it.
So, you guys are back there having that conversation while Otto's putting this butler back together. Zigzag walks out to the stands and catches the midway point of the fight between the Alloy Assassin and the Titan of Torque. Once again, the arena is supercharged, and a chain drive is in the Titan of Torque's hand and running straight at the Alloy Assassin, who's got some sort of spear in his hand. You sit down, and it's basically final bet time. Like, you can make a mid-game bet right here.
I'm going to put 250 on the assassin.
Okay. The Titan of Torque comes running in towards the assassin with the chain drive. The assassin then ducks underneath using a nice little pirouette maneuver, and then drives the Torque into the chest of the, or drives the spear into the chest of the Titan of Torque, where it explodes, shattering all of the armor away and causing the Titan of Torque to fall back on the mat dead. You make 4 times your investment.
Yeah! Another grand! I'm liking this. This is fun. I've never gambled this much before. Uh-oh. I might become a monster. No. I'm going to keep that thought inside my head. My friends don't need to know that.
The butler is called up for his next match against the Circuit Slammer. The arena has reset to default settings. All of the options are available. Your friends are in the crowd. They get their betting options.
500 again on my buddy, the butler.
Okay.
Did I repair all of my damage?
Yes. So that's just going to be a thing. Like, they're set up for you to repair your robots in between sessions. That's also why the armor's made of plastic, is so you can just print it.
Yeah, Zigzag looks like he's having fun over there betting. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to throw 500 on the butler.
Yeah.
Don't let us down.
Ronan, you want to get in on this?
Oh, no, I'm going to look at all the people around me and I'm going to start chanting. I'm like, turret, turret, turret.
Okay.
While spamming the turret button.
Give me some kind of leadership check or a persuade or whatever social skill check you can use.
We will go with persuasion, because why not?
Bell dings, the opening round starts.
10 on the persuasion.
And the butler's made it 3 steps into whatever move Kizik's going to make, and the turrets activate.
Turrets, yes.
The butler's going to pick up a weapon this time before he gets there, because they were on this side. And he's going to take a defensive stance and wait for the Circuit Slammer to charge in before hitting him with, I guess there's a club, regular size club.
Okay. That's a thing you can do. It's basically just a steel pipe with a piece of concrete molded on the end. They aren't high tech here. But, all right, so he's coming in with the... So you'll notice that the Circuit Slammer stops at the halfway point and sort of puts his arm out and gives you one of those come hither things. You also notice that the turrets aren't currently shooting even though they've activated. Really wish you'd read those rules right now, don't you?
I mean, there were a lot of pages, and I had an extra server to put in, so I'm gonna, now that I've got my big old club, I'm gonna head towards him. And I'm gonna hit him in the side of the head with it.
He was really clicking that button, guys. He was putting a lot of faith in that. He's like, no, it's gotta work.
That was a lot of clicks.
Yeah.
32 clicks.
It's an 8.
Okay. I should have done his instead of listening to your clicks intently and giggling. That wins because he rolled a 6. So you stride across the line. Let me roll for the turrets. And you take your swing. Go ahead and roll your damage. The turret on this side starts shooting at you the second your foot crosses the middle, and you realize why the Circuit Slammer didn't step onto your side of the arena.
That's 2d6.
Yes, for a club. This is your standard arm, right?
Yes. That's a 5 and a 6 for an 11 damage.
Okay. That was a short match. So that guy had exactly 11 hit points. And you swing, and the Circuit Slammer literally goes in one hit, you crush his skull in, taking no damage.
Still holding the tray.
Still holding the tray. And the crowd goes wild, although there does seem to be some disappointment that it was over so quickly.
Oh my gosh, Zigzag, that was some easy money.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, speaking of,
We're rich.
those of you who gambled, make 3 times your investment.
Wow, the odds were not great for the butler that time.
Go Butler.
You roll back. You don't have to rebuild your robot this time. He gets to the back, and the butler's like, "This is incredibly violent. It seems rather uncouth."
I mean, I think that holding a weapon was a very effective use of the weapon, and that would be very, very helpful if there's a big thing that's trying to attack my teammates.
I'm not certain I wish to participate in this form of entertainment.
I mean, we're doing pretty good. I should read some of the rules, though.
So those of you who are out on the stands, who are you voting for? The Mecha Mayhem has come out to great applause. And the Alloy Assassin has returned fully repaired to slightly less applause.
I always like an underdog.
What was the third button?
So there was Supercharged, there were traps, and then there were turrets.
Traps.
All right,
I'm
we're
gonna
still
start
betting
my-
the Butler. Butler all the way. Come on, man.
Well, you're not gambling this time then, because it's not the butler's turn.
Oh, it's not. Oh, well, the guy
I'm
that's
going-
going to clapping. We're definitely going to vote for him then.
All right, you're betting for the Mecha Mayhem then.
Yeah, so we're gonna vote for him.
How much money are you putting on it?
We're gonna put 5 again. We'll do 500.
That's a good call. I'm gonna do 250 again on my assassin friend.
I'm gonna chant traps, traps, traps.
Traps, traps, traps. I'm getting in on the chant.
Okay. So, the Mecha Mayhem and the Alloy Assassin seem to be very well matched. In the opening round, they bash at each other and then disengage. And then the traps activate, and the traps most of them are basically these grates on the floor. And some of them electrify, some of them shoot fire, some of them have little spikes that come up whenever they're stepped on. And the finishing move, so the Mecha Mayhem, as the weapons become available, has a built-in weapon. It's almost a sort of concussion cannon that seems to be shooting bursts of liquid or air that are just impacting and throwing the Alloy Assassin. And it comes in for a killing blow on the Alloy Assassin, and the Alloy Assassin dips out of the way. It fires the cannon into a trap, which triggers it, and then the Alloy Assassin tackles it onto the spike trap. The Mecha Mayhem is destroyed, and those who bet on the Alloy Assassin make back 4 times their investment.
Boo! Boo!
What an ending! Oh my gosh! That's incredible.
The crowd is going absolutely batshit. As they say, "Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a brief pause while the Alloy Assassin is repaired up, and then we will have our final match as the Alloy Assassin takes on the Butler."
Uh-oh.
You guys are free to make anything you want to have happen here. but you don't have to.
Sorry, I was doing math. I don't know if I'm going to
you've
bet
made some
against
money.
my buddy. I have made some money. This is great. How you doing, John? You feeling like you gonna bet on this last match?
Oh, definitely. We're gonna do it. Why not?
On
We're gonna
our,
live once, you know.
are you gonna bet on the Butler?
Yes, we are gonna definitely bet on Butler.
I got a lot of faith in Otto, but what I heard about the ghost lady, quote unquote, that's concerning.
Oh yeah, I would definitely agree. That is a little weird and concerning, but I'm still, hey, you know what? It's only money. You can't take it with you.
That's true. You want a beer? I'll buy you a beer.
All right, one beer.
Otto, as you've been working on the Butler, it has little status lights on all the servos and working pieces and like little LED boards that tell you different things about the individual components, kind of like a built-in diagnostic tool. All of those lights have been changing to a neon green, if that's not their default color. And it's been spreading throughout the Butler. Do you do anything about this?
I don't understand why they're changing colors. I can't get any like actual understanding why it's doing it.
You can try.
Is that computers?
Yeah, I would take computers and I would take mechanics. Or wait, no, you have a specific robot skill.
Roboticism?
That's what you want.
Yeah. That's an 8 plus 1 for a 12.
You got a 12. You needed a 12. Okay, so you look at this and you've been involved with enough things to know that one of the ways that you can spread a virus through computer software is to put it in the firmware of one piece of a robot, and that it will eventually, as that firmware interacts with other bits of the robot, spread to the rest of the system. This robot absolutely has a virus in it that was almost certainly in the servo you took that is spreading and is now almost completely taken over the entire frame in front of you.
Can I put firewalls around it so that I can still control the remote control version?
So it's like your CD-ROM having a virus in it. So
I gotta take it out.
that's one way to do it, yeah. But it's definitely propagating through the rig. But it's propagated so much that taking it out would be dismantling the whole thing at this point.
I'm gonna say, I'm sorry for calling you a ghost lady. I don't remember your name. It might be Janice? Maybe. But I see you're taking control of my robot. Got one more fight here to prove that it's worthy of helping my friends and protecting us from danger. I hope you let me control the butler every now and then.
The head cants slightly to the side. You are under at least one, if not more, false impressions. And with that, the bell goes off, and the announcer goes, "And now for the finale! The Alloy Assassin versus the Butler!" And the Butler gets up and stands out through the doorway. Who's betting on what now? Is anyone betting against the Butler?
No,
Okay, how much are you betting?
I don't think I'm going to bet this time.
Okay.
I'm betting 500.
Okay. And immediately, what Otto's he's gonna activate his controls, and nothing's gonna happen. And the match starts. And the butler steps forward, and the alloy assassin steps forward.
All the buttons. Push all the buttons.
What do you do, Otto? Nothing. You're not controlling this thing. It's on its own.
Can I see through its eyes like I would be remote controlling it?
No, you can see. Like you're looking through the window at it. Your controls are completely dormant.
Can I have a comms to it? Am I talking? Can I talk to it?
You can try to broadcast to it if you want.
Yeah,
you have to understand that there's no way that communication would be secure.
Otto's going to stand there and watch it. Has his little goggles on, is holding his remote control, and is just going to watch and see what the butler does.
Okay, you're going to let it happen. Okay, so the butler steps forward. The alloy assassin steps forward. The butler grabs with his strong arm that tray that he has for his thing, and he odd jobs it directly into the alloy assassin's skull with a speed and ferocity that is unlike anything any of these droids have shown to be capable of up to this point. Like, the attacks are all like, you can tell it's a robot in all of the fights so far. They're not fluid movements, they're jerky, like you can see that they're being controlled. These are not super high TL robots. But the butler just flung this thing as though he were a person in armor. And he flings it with enough force that it completely takes the alloy assassin's head off. The crowd is stunned. Some of them are cheering, it's very dramatic. And then the butler turns around, walks towards the exit, pulls the door off the hinges, and starts to walk outside. One of the security guards that's supposed to keep everything under control turns to Otto, and is like, what is going on? Another security guard tries to stop the butler, and it unloads a full magazine into the butler as it rips the guard's head off and then sprints off down the street.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I lost control of it. Hold on. I chase it down.
The security guard shoots you. Luckily for you, he had a taser, a stunner. But you try to run away. I lost control of it, and he's like, and he just watched a friend die. You get stunned. You're in handcuffs before you know what has happened. Lots of security and police are now storming the event. They're getting everyone out of the building. Huge traumatic event. News reporter vans are starting to show up. Everyone wants to know what happened.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Tell them you need the lawyer, and then shut up.
Those are the first words I hear coming back from consciousness.
Actually, that probably would be the first things you hear, because they probably wouldn't take your headpiece. They would have definitely taken your controls and your weapon. Well, you don't have any weapons, but, would have taken, most of your stuff. But we can say you still got your earpiece in, so you could still talk briefly to your teammates, or rather, they could talk to you. But yeah, you wake up in the back of a police van. There's a detective in front of you, and they were like, Dr. Otto... they're looking at your ID from your wallet, and they're like, what did you do?
I made a robot. I put in a part that I saw had a virus. The virus was spreading. I thought there was a nice consciousness maybe spreading throughout it, and I said I needed something to defend myself and my crew, and then it went crazy, and it killed that person, and I tried to chase after it to help see if I could calm it down, and I was tased, and I woke up here, and I'd like a lawyer.
That's probably a good idea, Doctor. I'm going to have to place you under arrest for accessory to murder. You very clearly violated the safety rules of this endeavor, and it has cost someone their life.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, You're taken off to the jail. Your friends are granted the ability to visit you if they would like. You also need to hire a lawyer.
What did I tell you? What did I say? I said don't say anything except, where's my lawyer?
He did say that. He also told you not to use the modified droid.
I did say that too. I said that this is weird and it's cheating. Otto, what are you thinking?
I wanted to build a cool droid. I wanted to be really neat in this, and I killed a guy. Is the droid still out menacing the world?
I mean, probably. What do you get? You can't do anything about it now.
I need a lawyer. I need to get out of prison.
This is jail right now. You're gonna go to prison.
Need a good lawyer. You guys know
Damn good
lawyers?
Not a no. Maybe the college or the university has one.
Yeah, the dean could help me.
I don't think we want to tell the dean.
Yeah.
All right,
But maybe
What
this
could
is
go
the
wrong
only
with
way-
telling the dean that we made a killer robot?
Well, we.
And by
There is
we,
no
meaning
we.
you.
There is no we. There is also. We have told you many, many times not to do that. And like, you took the thing, and then you built the thing, and then you knew the thing was wrong, and you kept it going. I'm so disappointed in you.
I thought that we were going to be friends and he was going to protect us. I didn't know that he was going to like throw that frisbee as fast as he did and then just rip the guy's face off.
Yeah, that's the major problem. Like the man that died.
It sure would have been nice if you built some type of kill switch or something into it, so you could just destroy it.
Wow, that would have been smart. Did you make a kill switch?
Even if I did, it's got control of the kill switch, so it's not going to just let us get the kill switch.
So
Oh,
the cops
boy.
like running around after this thing right now, and I assume it's just kind of running down the street, just causing all kinds of havoc. Or
They haven't asked you any questions?
They asked me what I did. I told them what I did. Then I said, no, I want a lawyer, because I forgot to tell them that I wanted a lawyer first and say nothing afterwards. I could have said it was hacked. No.
Yeah, you could have said anything but the truth, or nothing. That would have been way better. Nothing.
Nothing. That's what you told me to do.
John, do you know any lawyers?
oh my gosh, I do. Let me see if I can get a hold of some people.
You need a criminal defense attorney.
This is a streetwise check if you want one that is not associated with the university. Basically, if you want Better Call Saul, you need to roll streetwise.
Yeah, so we're gonna give me a minute here. Let me see what I can do.
Those of you who have access to the news, it absolutely led the police on a merry chase. It also seems to be modifying and arming itself, and it has killed probably about 15 people at this point.
Holy shit,
gosh.
dude. Hey, Kizik, how's this red sword feel?
This is not good.
I got a streetwise 6.
It's a good thing this isn't our hometown or anything.
I'm sorry, Kizik. I'm so sorry.
Crazy.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I actually rolled to see if one of the 15 people was Bart, but he lived.
Oh, no. Fucking, oh my god. I'm gonna get out of this jail. No, I'm not even in the jail.
No,
This
you
is
can
the worst
just
jail I've ever
leave.
been. I'm leaving now and I'm going on a hunt.
So I'm looking through the rule book to do law, and this is our first time going through the proper procedure for when travelers become criminals and break the law. I've already rolled on there whether or not they charge you, and they're charging you. It was a -4. Like, it was with 0 being the threshold. So you have been charged with murder. Everything this droid is doing, they are holding you solely responsible for, because you programmed the AI in the eyes of the investigators. Okay? You have not yet assigned a lawyer, so they have not given you any further interrogation at this point, but they have informed you that you will be appearing before a judge the next morning. If you don't have a lawyer by then, one will be assigned for you, blah, 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 blah. What's everybody doing? It sounds like there's 2 different avenues of approaching this going on right now.
So I got a 6 from my Streetwise, trying to see if I can get a lawyer for him. Trying to find better.
Yeah, that's why I said he doesn't have a lawyer, because I heard you say that.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
He could call the university and say, "Hey, I fucked up and I need a lawyer," but everybody's going to know. The university does have a decent attorney. Well, several decent attorneys.
I think we're stuck with that option, but it's really ultimately up to Otto.
Nope, that's who I was asking.
Yeah. Nobody else could find me.
Well, the only person who tried, I think, was John. You could also try to, try your luck with like a civilian lawyer, if you wanted to. That'll be another role.
I'll try to.
Better than a public defender.
Could I broker a lawyer or admin a lawyer?
Sure, you can use one of those skills. That's fine. You could also be your own attorney if you have the advocate skill.
I do not. I'm going to try to broker a lawyer. 6 + 1 is a 7.
Okay. Well, you don't really find one. You're arraigned the next day, and they assign you a public defender. And your case is going to go to trial rather quickly, so I'm going to ask the rest of the party, because it sounds like they might want to try to go out there and hunt this thing down. Do you guys actually try to do that?
I think we should. Yes.
Okay.
I do. I want to go and find this thing, because if it's Janice from, at least if it's the same, artificial intelligence from that haunted place that we went to, I mean, maybe we can try and, logically discuss and talk to it.
That might be beyond. Go ahead. It just might be beyond reasoning right now, and we are going to have to really hunt it down.
Well, then we need to go, and if it's that case, then we need to take it down. Thank goodness it's made with plastic and not, armor and stuff.
Oh, it's been modifying itself along the way.
Oh, great.
That was specifically stated.
Like, without any knowledge of capabilities or what it's armed with, other than knowing that it's getting armed and armored. Like, we got a pistol and a shotgun between us. It ripped the other robot, head apart with its frisbee platter. Like, I don't know that. I mean, I'm down for helping, try and find it, but I'm not picking a fight with that thing.
Well, do we want to leave this to the cops and let them just do their thing? I'm sure they're already on the case, right?
All right, then maybe we should try to help our friend Otto with his law stuff. I mean, I'm all for helping find the robot and helping the authorities take down Murderbot. I think that's kind of important.
I will say, if any of you have advocate, that is advocate anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to say that you guys spend enough time debating this that the trial is moved up and goes ahead before you guys make a final decision on going after it. In the median time, it kills 8 more people. It is on a rampage, and the police are now at a point where they can't even find it until it strikes. And it's seeming to strike more or less at random as well, which is really aggravating the efforts to get it. However, it does seem to be, now that you're looking at a pattern, only attacking armed personnel, like police or guards, or sometimes even just criminals, but they're armed. Every person it's attacked so far has been armed.
I'm scared because I have 4 arms.
Okay.
I think it's doing what Otto told it to do. It's defending itself, or what it believes it's doing. So we can go help find it. I think that's probably a good plan.
Try to
At
approach it
least-
with that weapon.
Yep.
We need Otto to talk to it.
All right. Well, then let's get Otto out.
Okay. So I need an advocate roll. The public defender they gave you is a even dice roll. You still have time to say, no, I want that lawyer from the university, or try to, well, basically it's that or the public defender at this point. You just choose.
I'll advocate it. Can I do that?
You can if you have the skill.
I don't have the skill.
Well, that would be a -3, which would be worse than the public defender. Kizik, it's really your decision because it's your character on the line.
I'm going to fess up to the school. I'm going to talk to them.
Okay. They're pretty aware of the situation going on already. Hiding this was never really going to be a thing. But since you've now called them and requested the lawyer, they send a good attorney out, and you now have a +4 for your advocate roll. Go ahead and roll that roll.
Uh, 6 + 4 is a 10.
Excellent. So that gives you an effect of 2. Trying to figure out how
Pull
to...
out some inane law called the Frankenstein law, where the monster of some creator goes on a rampage, so the creator can't be held responsible.
So it is...
No one thought it would be ever a thing.
The defense, assuming that Otto just comes clean to his lawyer, the defense is going to center around the idea that it was a virus that infected something he built and not therefore his fault, is going to be the result of the argument.
Yeah, Otto is like in tears and just can't control. I'm sorry, and then I saw that things were changing, but I thought that he was like, going to actively like talk to me and be friends, but it was not the case.
Okay. Your attorney wins the case, and you are declared to be innocent of the charges of both manslaughter and murder that they had put forth for you. You do get a lot of negative publicity, as does the university, for this endeavor. It is considered incredibly... Basically, what they think happened was that you brought back something from one of your digs and then plugged it into a machine, and you didn't know what it was, and now it's in the middle of the city killing people. So, while you have been deemed innocent of a crime, you now are suffering from a negative social status thing, and you're going to reduce your social by 1. See if you can resolve that scenario. We are at 10:30, so I will give the players a choice. We have one more limited adventure to go on that we can do. That is for Thodubs. Or we can push forward with this one, since it has significant consequences to one of the players.
I think that should be up to Thodubs.
I agree.
I am game pressing on with mine. However, I am worried about Otto in this predicament. I mean, we still got this robot running around downtown, right, causing all kinds of havoc.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys talk it out for a second amongst yourselves while I go ahead and take a quick bathroom break. The dice were not very kind to Kizik tonight, so I want to give him an opportunity to at least plead his case for what he wants to do here. I'll be back in a minute.
I'm good for a group discussion as far as what we want to do. I'm game with that.
Let's begin with Kizik's pleas.
Guys, I completely messed up, and it wasn't friendly. It wasn't like the Janice lady, maybe, but and then it's killing so many things, and then I was on trial, and then the big fancy lawyers came in, and they said that the virus is causing it. So,
Stealing is bad.
But it was the extra one, and there were so many of them, and you didn't know. Like, did you see how strong that? No, that's
Still,
not.
obviously.
That's not.
Stealing is bad.
Don't steal
Stealing is
things. Yes. So we've gotten a thing. I still it maybe might listen to me. I don't know. Maybe some. I don't know. But like, if we just go take it down, we would need to set up a trap. It would need to be like an electronics trap just to shut it off. I don't know if it's built in any cool fail safes that it would overload itself, but I think we could make an EMP. The EMP could stop its like stabilizer cores.
I have a feeling that if we attack it, it will defend itself.
Brutally.
I think you've got to go talk to it, Mr. Creator Man.
So just find it in the crowd and
Just make
talk
sure
to
you
it.
do not have
Yeah,
a
go-
weapon in your hands.
Go head to head, no weapons. You can take it with your fists.
If you get it into a windmill, you could set fire to it, and both you and the monster. Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different story.
Self-sacrifice to help everybody else whose lives I haven't drastically altered through a terrible mistake.
It's
Whatever
in our
it is, it's gotta
neighborhood.
be something that we can
Yeah,
improve your score or improve your image.
I feel like it's something we should resolve. But that being said, I'm gonna step away to go use the facilities. I'll be right back.
Be careful. Has your robot gone crazy? Call us at
1-800
We Fix
debug.
yeah, 1-800 We Fix Crazy Robots. Oh man.
Oh god.
So,
Kizik.
good move on calling the university lawyer, by the way. Because for lulz, I went ahead and rolled. So you only won the court case because of that +4, and the sentence I rolled was life imprisonment.
Oh gosh.
I mean, Otto's. Oh, man, I'm gonna make a character one of these days that doesn't have like a terrible thing they do, like Session 3.
I don't know that it's the characters.
Yeah, I don't know if you can blame Otto Weber on this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
too.
Should have stopped it when it started taking over.
So yes, that was your first opportunity to defuse the situation, and I was certain when I sketched this out in the 5 minutes it took me to come up with this scenario that that at some point either your teammates or you are going to say, "Hey man, this thing's creepy as fuck. We should probably stop this before it gets too far." And then when you lost control of it, what I actually expected you to do was to be like, hey, I've lost control of my robot. Which would have, sort of prematurely created the scenario, but it would have been more like you would have been free of blame in the legal sense at that point. Yeah, it's fun. So are we moving forward with this scenario? We can probably still fit in, if we finish before, say, 11 with this one, we can probably still fit in a very quick one for Thodubs. Or I can give him a bonus thing later. Because we are also going to be leveling up our characters based on these events. Since we have a minute while Rex is using the facilitize. Everybody is going to receive an experience point. The experience point is the equivalent of 1 study period worth of study time that you can either apply towards upgrading a skill in part or whole. So a study period is generally 8 weeks of study towards something. And one of the parts about these mini adventures was to give you guys the opportunity to use that. I would prefer if it's a skill that is somewhat relevant to the story you told, but it doesn't have to be.
So we're actually getting a full point? Is that what you just said? I want to make sure.
Let me explain in excruciating detail, Thodubs. Okay, so when you upgrade your character, you have this thing on your character sheet called study period. A study period is 8 weeks of studying for something. 1 study period. You need 1 study period to go to 0. You need 1 study period to go to 1. You need 2 study periods to go to 2. 3 study periods to go to 3 on a skill. Okay? You also must roll when you do those upgrades to see if you have to roll your education, and you have to pass a roll in order to upgrade that skill each time you do it. And if you fail, you lose 1 week of the study period and have to go back and do it again. Normally, you lose all the study period. That's the rules as written, but I think that rule kind of sucks because you don't go through the semester at school and forget every single thing you learned. You may not have passed the test, but you can still do things. There is a whole chapter in the core rulebook about how to upgrade your skills. I highly, highly, highly suggest, as in, do not modify your character sheet until you've read it. So, yes, you will get an experience point that is equivalent of 1 study period. Which means you can upgrade something that you're not trained in to something that is at a 0. If you pass your roll.
Okay, thank you. That's what I thought it was. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, I don't mind going into excruciating detail if you need it. I'd much rather you ask that question than do it wrong.
Seafarer 0.
I mean, I could totally see that for yours, but I could see gunnery as well as vehicle heavy weapon vehicle as a skill as well. I mean, there's so many things that it could be. Survival could be a thing for that, Well,
I don't know. I did a lot of physical work and stuff like that too, trying to tread water and a lot of surf and turf and
yeah, you can put
onto a rope and
totally put that towards your physical attribute or your skill side of your physical attributes. Obviously, it doesn't change your characteristics.
Yeah, it would definitely be like an athletic side of stuff. Is what I'm kind of thinking of. Is definitely physically exerting.
But truthfully, I'll take any justification for any skill. It could be I thought about Starship Combat while I did it, so I improved my piloting. I'm fine with that.
All right. So for my opinion on Thodubs or whatever, is this killer robot going to continue killing while Thodubs we do his scene?
So
more people dead.
This killer robot is going to continue on until the natural course of its current situation is resolved. You could end that prematurely if you guys can figure out a way to do so. It's worth noting that some of you have a better instinct for what that'll take than others. And if left to its own devices, the situation will resolve itself. But if you don't intervene before that happens, Kizik's stats will be permanently affected.
I'm just thinking, based off of the current situation that we find ourselves in, we need to do something to help Kizik.
It's also worth noting that social is the only stat that you can bring up with money. You can literally have enough money that you can say, I want to increase my social.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, while it seems like, oh my god, that sucks, he's losing, it's social. You can adjust freely that stat anytime you want, just by making a lot of money.
Maybe it's not as bad as what we think then.
It's still terrible. We need to stop this robot from killing people.
Let's do Thodubs' vignette.
All right.
All right.
It's not up to me. I'm just putting my opinion in there.
Well, when you say that, nobody argues with you. I just start moving with it because getting players to actively pipe up has been difficult sometimes.
Just I don't want to be controlling.
Yeah, well, I've already shared my opinion, so it whichever one we want to choose, I'm good.
Well, that's not an opinion. That's just
the opinion was basically I was concerned about Kizik's character, but if we can pay for his social to come back, then it's not that big a deal.
I'm down with stopping Killer Robot.
I like Dr. Zane. Well, that locks us in a 2-2 tie.
Roll off.
Let's stop the killer robot. Let's go.
All right, killer robot then. That's what I've heard. 3.
Oh shit! I didn't do that.
Or are we doing a roll off?
Hold on. Brief connectivity issue while I undo a mistake. All right. Everybody's back in now, right?
I am.
Excellent.
Yep, I'm here.
I didn't mean to delete all the robots. I'm gonna hang on to them for later. Okay. So, let me get some pens out. Oh man, I wish I had your Florida Green pens right now. I'm sure I could find something to use in the figurine stuff. These player pawns would probably work. Let's use these. All right. So I'm gonna start mapping out like where the strikes have happened. Let's say the arena is here where the orange pin is. Oh no, it was in an industrial area. So let's put it down at the docks. Let's say it's here. And each of the red strikes are where the attacks have been. Otto is released the morning after, so 2 days later. There have been 4 sets of attacks. The last set, the police reported that they damaged the unit in the firefight, but it got away. You guys are... Where are you guys at?
Which location was that? The last firefight?
The last one was here. I'll list them like this so that they have numbers, because that is important information.
It seems like it may be moving towards Elm Court.
Specifically, the university.
All right, so we'll head that way. Otto, are you prepared?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go talk to it and try to get it to update its directive by speaking to it.
Otto,
Right.
I'll go with you. And I'm going to put all of my guns away. And by all of my guns, I mean my one gun, and not bring it with me.
You guys have weapon permits, so you are permitted to carry weapons within the city. It's an important thing to note that is unique. Most civilians cannot carry firearms within the city.
I'm going, and I'm not taking my weapon.
Okay. All right, so
I'll go as well. I'll leave mine.
So you guys are heading to the last place near Elm Court?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. The subway pod drops you off at a station nearby, and it's very easy to see the police line where the scene is taking place. There's only one patrolman left, kind of guarding the scene. It doesn't look like it looks like the police investigators have all come and gone, and now maintaining the scene is just one simple formality. You guys want to try to access the scene and investigate there?
Yes.
I was trying to hide my face.
That might not be a terrible idea.
Yeah. Go for it, Dr. Zane. I'm going to try to blend into the crowd and keep an eye out.
I'm going to go talk to the patrolman.
Okay. The patrolman's like, "Oh, hi there. This alleyway's closed. There's been a crime. You may have seen on the TV. And I can't allow you to walk through." He looks pretty young. And he's a little nervous about having to confront a civilian.
Is he distracted enough that Zigzag could sneak by?
Yeah, easily. You want to try to roll your stealth? Because you can just climb up the freaking wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna shimmy Cocoa Puffs. It's a 9.
Okay. You make your way in. Zane, how do you answer him when he says, no, you can't come in?
Hey man, I'm just trying to figure out like what happened. Like I'm a doctor, and like I'm trying to figure out what I can like what kind of weapons or anything were used, so I can help out your buddies. So I kind of need to get by you.
Ooh, that's a
So that
really that's a really good argument. Roll persuade.
uh, 12.
Oh yeah. So he's like, well, yeah, of course, Doc. There's not much left in there. Just try not to disturb any of the pieces of the bot that are laying around. The forensics team still wants to touch those.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I concur.
And he shimmies aside. So now we've got Zane and Zigzag in the alley. And what you guys see is it looks like the thing got cornered. And there are bits of its armor and other bits of metal scattered all over the place. There are several weapon casings like littering all over the floor. And then there's some blood. What do you want to look at first?
I'll take a look at the blood, Zigzag, if you want to take a look at the robot.
Yes, sir.
Bits of robot. I mean, it's obviously
Bits
not
of
all.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What are you trying to discern, both of you?
So I'm gonna take a look at the blood and looking for blood dispersion. Like what direction the firefight was taking. If I can kind of piece together where the robot was and whatnot, so I can work backwards from there. And then looking at like I assume the blood is from the cops.
Okay.
Yeah, but like blood patterns and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and do your roll. That would be a forensics roll, but I'm going to go ahead and let you do like a medic if you want. What about you, Ghost?
I'm hoping for a recon roll, but I'm gonna look and see if the robot parts are still made out of that same PLA that I was looking at earlier, the cheap plastic stuff, or if it's been upgraded. I also want to see if there's any electronics that maybe have a glowing neon green light to it.
Go ahead and roll your recon.
Fudge.
I got a 13.
Okay.
A 3 and got a 7.
All right, well, Zane determines that several firearms, at least 2 were used, firing incredibly rapidly. Now, that could indicate an automatic weapon, but more likely it just means the robot's firing very quickly. And from the dispersal pattern, it's pretty easy to tell that the robot was backed into a corner and that there was a lot of gunfire that shot at it. The only way for it to get out would have been to go up one of the walls, and you can, now that you're looking at it, see that there are chunks of the wall missing where it must have dug in and climbed up to the top. Zigzag. The only thing you can determine out of the questions you answered is that it's probably not made out of PLA anymore, as most of the shrapnel is either the exact same material that local police and security have for their ballistics body armor, like their flak jackets, or it's metal and scraps. There's very little PLA here.
This thing has like been upgrading itself, right? I think maybe armor.
Yeah, it also looks like it got cornered and climbed up the building. So maybe you go up there and check. I'm gonna take a look around down here, like to see if there's any other fluids, like hydraulics or anything like that. Maybe they hit something vital on the robot, and then look for the same stuff as you're climbing up the wall and on the rooftops.
Sure, the small Azorg will go up after the scary killer robot.
I mean, you got this.
Otto, what are you and John doing out on the street?
I was like scanning, looking to see if I see just the robot, and I went, "Oh, I'm a roboticist. I should be a better scanner." So I've been thinking it through, trying to come up with a frequency that I think that tech level 13 servo would resonate at, and I'm trying to come up with some kind of sensor that I can scan around to find it.
Give me a computer or electronics comms check.
That's a 9.
Okay. You get a signal from the top of the building, right above the alleyway, as Zigzag is cresting the top.
Guys, it might be on the roof. I might have triangulated resonance of what I think the servo is.
He gets about halfway through that overly technical explanation as Zigzag crests the top, and you don't see it up here.
I don't. I'm gonna try to sneak.
Okay. Give me a perception roll while you're up there.
right. Perception is a 12.
Okay. 12 absolutely crushes it.
My sneak is not so good.
Okay. I can make both of these work. You're trying to sneak and you step on something sharp, which causes you to cry out with profanity and an alarm. The thing you stepped on that was very sharp is a part of the robot circuitry that's glowing that green, and it seems to be blinking as though it's on really low power. But it also, by the looks of it, is part of the original servo.
I pick it up.
Okay. It's a electronic controller chip of some kind and a piece of metal that it was mounted to.
Is there... I'm going to look around. Is there like a trail of pieces now?
There are a bunch of small pieces where things were coming off of it. Would you like to walk further down the trail or head back?
On comms, I'm going to be like, do you guys want to come up here? Because of the scary killer robot thing?
On my way, sir.
It's definitely up here.
It's much harder for everyone else to get up there. The roof
I'm gonna
access
go
is from inside of the locked building.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I can go unlock maybe the roof door. It's a good plan.
Is the guard guarding the entrance to the building?
Nope, he has no clue what you guys are doing as you walk over there. The building is closed and locked, though. Like, there was a firefight and police officers were killed right outside of the business. They're closed for the day.
Is the roof door to outside?
Generally doors like that are locked, and they're locked like for the outside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is there like a fire escape or something?
Not on this particular building.
Okay.
Are the locks electronic? You want to try to hack into them?
It's unlikely, but you can roll for luck and see. Almost all the locks on Esperanza are physical locks. They require I think it's a deception dexterity roll.
Has anybody picked a lock?
I'm happy to give that a try with deception and intellect or
Dexterity.
dexterity.
So you've picked a lock before?
I have not, but I am very familiar with the way that they work and the tubular systems within them, and I wouldn't think that it'd be that difficult, but I can definitely give it a whirl.
Go for
which
it.
door do we want to start and take a look at first?
We want to get into the building and then go up to the roof so we can support our good friend Zigzag.
All right, sounds good. So let's walk around to the side here where that cop can't see us, and we'll get this door over here and let's give it a try.
So there isn't a good spot to be away from the police officer, but one of you can try to stand in the way.
I'll go talk to him.
There you go. Yeah, just distract them or something.
All right, go ahead and give me a quick roll for the door.
Okay, rolled an 11. 2 deception is 13. 1 dexterity is 14.
Okay, it's a lot of positive effects. You guys are able to get all the way up to the roof. That door unlocks from the inside, so you don't have to pick it. And you find yourselves on the roof. Zigzag probably looks very nervous up until you open the door.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I think it's over there. Oh, look, there's a trail of parts. Otto, this part looks like it's part of the original, I don't know, servo thing.
That might be. No, we're trying to we're sneaking? No, we're not sneaking up. I'm just gonna walk up and call out his name, the butler, and that's the way to do it, right?
Well, is its name really the butler, or is it Janice?
I'm gonna go with the butler because that's who he is right now. So I start scooting forward and say, "The butler, or Janice, are you here?" And I start searching around.
There is no answer. You eventually walk to you follow the trail, eventually find yourself at the edge of the building, looking across the alleyway towards the university square, where something has almost certainly jumped through a small partition on the top of the other roof. The trail is also dying off towards the other end, so the bits that have come off of it have sheared off enough that it's not really leaving much of a trail anymore.
Oh shit, it's moved on.
Are there any other electronics with the low glowy greenness?
The one in your hand.
Yeah, and just nothing else. I make sure I take that part, and guys, it jumped over to the campus. We got to get over there. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't have it killing students.
I'm gonna go the more direct route.
Think you can make that jump across the street?
Not only do I think I can, I think I can. I have no idea, but we're gonna try it. Oh man, I'm
Nope.
guys.
Okay, I really thought it was Kizik that was going to get himself killed this episode.
No, right?
So, fall damage is a bitch in Traveler. You're going to take 2d6 for each floor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't even think I'm gonna be able to save you, man.
Because you're light boned, I'm going to reduce it to 1d6 using very liberal interpretations of the rules. Also, your body armor doesn't count.
Remember, you're a bird and you can fly.
Flap your wings.
Flying squirrel.
Right? I have 4 arms.
Do you-
Is there there's no dex saving throw? That doesn't make any sense here.
No, you
Okay.
you jumped off a building and rolled snake eyes.
That makes sense.
Do you want me to roll damage or you want to do it? It's 2d6.
Oh, it's 2. Yeah, I got this. It's gonna be massive, of course.
Is that all of your
Alright.
endurance in one shot?
It is not.
Oh, you are still conscious from the ground. I'm imagining you're saying something. Dr. Zane, I'm quite badly hurt.
The robot got me.
The robot got me. So you're now going to be there for a minute while someone does emergency medical treatment to you in the street.
Yeah.
We're sprinting down the stairs now.
And as I'm talking to the cop still, I'm gonna let him know that I'm gonna go take care of this.
Medical emergency
Super-
that just happened to happen over here. It's unrelated to what you're doing.
Medical emergency. I'm also going to let them know that we think that the robot has made its way into the university. We also think that we shouldn't engage it, but just kind of cordon off the area, but don't actively search the university or attempt to engage it.
I cannot list the ways in which you just screwed the entire... First off, that officer's not going to let you leave. You just gave him information. He wants to know how you got it. You're not in a position to give him orders. They are absolutely now going to go over there and send every police officer they can muster over there, and you're probably going to get detained.
Yes.
Why? So go ahead and roll a persuade to try to sweet talk your way out of that decision. I'm going to say that you talk so fast that he's confused and doesn't know what you said. And therefore you get away, but there's no like police or anything going on. Just think about who you're talking to when you say things like that.
Fair.
So you rush over there and you're going to try to fix. And you're going to try to fix Zigzag.
That's the plan.
Let me try this again. As enthusiastic as I can. Kizik, do you do anything with the thing in your hand?
Does this have an off switch?
It's a piece of circuitry.
Yeah. No, I have it. I put it in my pocket and I'm going to go find the robot. Or should I smash it?
Are you or are you not some like massively intelligent computer person with an awesome high computer score? Or are you some like super soldier that's going to be able to fight this thing in hand-to-hand combat to the death?
Number 2.
Am scientist, so I plug the circuitry into my science computer.
There we go. When the GM gives you something, I'm gonna need a computer's check from you.
That's a 8.
Okay. So 2 things are going to happen here. Whatever computer you plugged into it, you are going to lose that computer because it is going to work its way to the system. But before it does that, you're going to get a glimpse of this thing's source code. You're going to realize that it's not a full AI. It's not Janus. It is simply a protection program that you tripped over a booby trap that was in this thing. You activated it somehow when you put it into the droid, and then you gave it the directive to go kill things, which it is now fulfilling because you gave it the directive. But the most important part of its source code is you find a kill code that will, in essence, shut down the AI.
Did I figure out how to deliver said kill code?
It can be delivered any way you can communicate with its chipset. So you could just broadcast it.
Yep. I'm gonna get gotta go get a new phone now. But I'm gonna find that and make it a short range broadcast.
Okay.
To maybe even longer range, but need to get a new phone.
Okay.
Or I've got a friend, Jonathan. Can I borrow your phone?
Absolutely. It looks like you're in need there. Hopefully this will help you out.
So that's going to be a comms check. You do hear the sound of gunfire coming from the university campus.
That's a 10 on comms.
The gunfire stops.
I think I stopped it. Did you save Zigzag? Zane? Dr. Zane?
I had a 15 on a medical check.
That sounds like you saved him.
I doctor good.
You do doctor good. It's since we're out of the actual danger scenario, it's a difference. It makes no difference because you'd have time to recover in a hospital after. Like you get all your health back. Also, so here's how we're gonna montage this resolve. Kizik found out how to shut the thing down. You guys go to the university. It was in the university administrative building, and it was trying to fight its way towards Dr. Otto's office. It was at this point, and it's a corrupted defense program. So it eventually got to the point where it was like, no, I need to kill Dr. Otto. It just took it a while to get to that point. Had you confronted it in any way, shape, or form, I would have almost certainly been, best case scenario, you'd be in the hospital. It also would have continued to deteriorate to the point where eventually it would have shut itself down. Like, it wasn't stable. However, being the one who stopped it allows the university to try to use their spin doctoring to paint a more positive picture on your results and your intervention. And they definitely have you interview, although it's an incredibly uncomfortable situation for you, with several reporters, but they tell you exactly what to say. And you manage to muddle through it, fixing your social score to at least the stats that it was before. As they basically say, you know, Dr. Otto saved this virus infected, or saved the university from this virus infected robot that he totally was not responsible for, you know, as proven in a court of law for having done. The whole thing has been quite a trying endeavor for Otto, and a lesson in the power of public opinion. That dice were very mean to you tonight, Kizik. And I'm glad we decided to resolve this.
I saved the day.
Question mark? I mean, you at
Are we
least...
the baddies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Zigzag can't fly. Zigzag owns a boat.
Zigzag does own a boat. Zigzag cannot fly. I can't believe Zigzag jumped off that roof.
When I said I'm going to go the more direct route, I meant like just kind of spider climbing over the edge and down. But then I was like, nope, I'm committed now. I jumped.
Yeah.
He had his whip.
I was going to let it pass on an 8. Oh, I would have absolutely let him use the whip to get across. I would have absolutely let him do that.
That would have been sick.
That would have been a good... Yeah. Me neither. But, yeah. It's all good. You've got a crack doctor right there to help you out. Yeah.
I'm slightly hurt for Thodob's thing.
Well, secretly, one of the reasons I wanted to allow Thodob's thing to potentially slip by is that he had something that was a really cool idea that he really wanted to do, but it didn't fit in this episode. So now I think I'll make it part of like a real episode, so that we can still do the cool idea. And it'll have a completely different connotation because half you guys are convinced that was Janice, and we're really leaning hard into that. So
That's what I thought it was.
Otto knows better now.
Oh.
So yeah, in the Traveler universe, viruses, nanoviruses, you know, AI, things like that are all things that you have to worry about tripping over. There might not be any magical, you know, cast fireball, but that doesn't mean that you can't trip over things. So, do we want to try to do Thodubs's? We have about 45 minutes remaining. We also need to talk about your potential crewmates in here. So, it's been an emotional roller coaster tonight. We could try to do a quick run of Thodubs's attempt, but I'll be streamlining it significantly to make it fit in the time. Or we can just skip straight to you guys talking about shopping that you guys need to do and hiring of the new NPCs. And if you do that, I'll be working getting Thodubs's paintings from Janice's fuel depot into one of our upcoming episodes. That's the one I couldn't do because it takes too long for him to go do it. So we had to come up with something that was less cool at the last minute. But it's a really good idea and I do want to do it.
I'm good with sticking with that idea and us going over our potential crewmates for our future travels.
And shopping. Because remember, you want to do shopping.
Shop.
Yeah, and you had specifically asked for shopping, so I'm guessing you have some stuff in mind.
I have a couple things.
Okay. Let's talk about crew members. So, you guys are in a conference room at the university, and you're only given 4 dossiers. Only 4 people applied to potentially join the crew, and you already know 2 of them.
All right. So of the 4 that we have, just recognize we only have 5 staterooms on the ship.
Every stateroom is double occupancy. That means you have 10 bunks.
Sweet.
My vote is Tina and Mike. I like both of them, and we're trauma bonded.
You don't want a. I second that vote. Mike saved my life probably. He shot at least 2 people that had me hogtied. Tina inspired my tragic entry into the Robot Wrestling League. And that makes me feel sad. And having a captain of the ship is just a thing we don't have to worry about. She'll make sure it's got fuel and can shoot. That makes me feel comfortable. I don't know.
How are we doing on complementing specialties? So like Tina's, M drive, and I mean, are we filling the holes that we need in our team for specialties?
I think they all fill one hole or another. I think that's why the university is giving them to us as options. I think there's value in all 4 of them, and we've got room for all 4 of them. Are they all like they're getting paid by the university?
Well, that's a real good point. I didn't know if we were gonna have to pay them all.
I mean, we should double check that point, but I believe they're getting paid by the university.
All ship costs, including crew, will be covered by the university as long as you are in their employ. That includes refueling the ship, taking the ship in for maintenance, which you'll still have to do, extra crew members, snacks.
Next.
So, you guys have the option to interview these guys if you would like. Or you can just decide based on their dossiers. It's up to you.
I mean, I think
we only need to interview 2 of them, right? We already know Tina and Mike.
Yeah, but we should still have them over for an official interview, and just hang out.
It's your expedition, sir.
Yeah, like if we have them over, then we can have some food cooked by Zigzag. Tina and I could talk about building cool robots.
You're not allowed to build any more robots.
I won't. I now know about the viruses, and I hadn't encountered a virus that was that.
It was TL-15 and sentient.
Yeah, sentient viruses. Come on, how often do those happen?
Like viruses that are not documented, and I mean in the human body or the Vargar or whatnot. I mean, I'm sure those viruses happen more than we'd like to admit. Maybe not sentient, but
yeah. Imagine if the flu could control your body and make you into a killing machine that upgrades itself, and then eventually tries to kill me.
Fun.
Maybe I won't build a robot.
anyway, I'm down if you want to interview him. It's your expedition, sir.
Yeah.
Support.
We should definitely interview the captain. I think that would be helpful. And what's the other guy's name? Kakal.
Call.
He looks like he's trying to make a bunch of money. I don't know if he'll fit in with a bunch of geeks who just want to explore. But maybe he'll help us like actually have enough money to go out on adventures.
How many of you know how to cut through the red tape to allow you to take sacred artifacts from a planet back to your homeworld?
I mean, cut through the red tape. I like to follow all of the rules. It only takes like 7 years.
Did you just say you like to follow the rules?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so clearly we need a fixer and a broker. So everybody gets hired.
You're just gonna hire everybody?
I feel like we should talk to them first. Like, I think they all bring something to the table and have earned the right to be at a bare minimum interviewed. I think they all bring something good to the table. I think if we were going to not bring one, the one that we have the most things for, is Call. I mean, because we can do about half of his things there. That's not true. We can do 2 of his things. Yeah, they all bring something to the table. I recommend talking to all of them.
And Kakal's fashion sense is top of the line.
Thank you. That was really hard to get the generator to do, actually.
I have some questions for Kakal.
So let's get him up first. Kakal, you're here for an interview.
Okay. So the Bwop shows up, and most Bwop, they are very rigid in the way that they walk. Their discipline is present in their stature as much as it is in their speech. And when Kakal walks in, he's not slouching, but he's very at ease. He walks with a fluidity that is unlike most of his peers. And he says, "Good evening, gentlemen. I am Kakal. I am a fixer and a broker, and I am looking to fill a berth on your ship. I believe I have an appointment for an interview." He has arrived exactly to the second at his appointment time.
You are extremely prompt. I'm Otto.
Yes, Dr. Otto, you are the leader of the expedition. I've already read a bit of a briefing on your exploits. It sounds like you are quite a competent archaeologist and roboticist.
Thanks. Zigzag had a couple of questions for you. Otto is still shook from... He just complimented him for being a good roboticist, and he just killed a bunch of people.
I'm Professor Zigzag. What should we really call you? Kakal?
I'm okay with a number of different nicknames, whichever you feel is easier for pronunciation. I normally say for humans, but obviously, Professor Zigzag, I doubt that your given name could be wrong.
That is true. I haven't really gotten an Azorg name. It's a long story, but what roles have you served aboard a vessel before?
So I have been a part of several merchant vessels. I have done some speculative trading. I have managed courier runs and information runs back and forth. I briefly did a run recently that was, it's called the Crescent Run. You're probably familiar with it here in the islands, but it runs right through territories that are currently at war. So the ship I was on is no longer making that run, and I wanted to stay in the area, so I've been looking for a berth on another ship where I could serve as a quartermaster, steward, and administrator for the functions in exchange for hopefully getting to exercise my skills and acquire... Specifically, in the case of this ship, I would like the opportunity to acquire some artifacts that have historical value that would help me start up a antique-style business where I could specialize in trading those kinds of less significant artifacts, the ones that maybe don't make it to the museum.
Okay. So what's your take on smuggling, like hypothetically?
Smuggling is just more profitable trading.
Okay. Okay. How are you with zero-G environments and vacuum suits?
I am incredibly comfortable with a vacuum suit. I come with my own environmental suit, which, while it is not a vac suit, does provide very similar environmental needs for me. I really prefer to stay in a more moist environment than most of my compatriots. So I tend to wear the environmental suit when on board ship at most times. But I am competent in a vac suit.
All right. What's the worst meal you've ever had in space?
Something called steak tartare.
Really? You don't like steak tartare?
You know, us bibwops are not big on raw meat. We mostly eat insects and vegetables, which I realize to most species is probably not that appealing. But I found that one exceptionally acidic and difficult to deal with.
So, insects, huh? I haven't cooked with those very often, but I'm always willing to fill a blind spot.
Oh, well, if you're interested in some recipes, I can certainly help you with that. I have the best termite souffle you've ever had before in your life.
Termites. Okay. All right. What's one item you refuse to travel without?
It would probably be my vac suit, although in reality, there isn't an item I would... Like, there's no physical item I wouldn't be willing to separate from if the need were real, but my lightweight environmental suit is... It's very important for both my health and comfort.
Okay, I can understand that. We have double bunks, if that's okay with you.
Not a problem.
And we run a scout ship. It's
Very close
XL.
quarters.
Yes, it is.
Indeed.
Are you familiar with the droin?
Only in reputation. They're not much on trading. Every once in a while, our old scout ship would come across one of their trading vessels. They mostly would trade for raw materials, and they would not trade any of their advanced technology with us. They were pretty adamant about those points. So I've had very little contact with them.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Kakal?
I have a question. Hi, Kaka. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in for this interview. Now, usually this may be something that you've already experienced in the past, but we are usually on long expeditions that remove us from our family and friends. Are there any concerns that you may have with performing that task?
Well, no, not at all. I was born on Yenin in the Galactic Alliance. I haven't been back to my homeworld in a decade. And I was making the Crescent Run, which is from one end of the islands to the other before that, on a Jump 2 ship. So long voyages are part of the merchant's life.
Totally understand. Yes, definitely. Now, you mentioned you were interested in doing like an artifacts, eventually opening up like a business, like a shop that dealt in antiquities that didn't make it exactly to a museum. How close are you to doing something like that? Are you looking for a permanent station with a permanent crew, or are you just doing it for a short time to get to your ultimate goal of working with the shop? Or what are your aspirations, I guess, for the future?
My arrangement that the university has agreed to is that artifacts that are considered either trivial or minor by the experts on this expedition, with Dr. Otto being the ultimate authority, will be available for me to take in lieu of pay. That I'll be able to supplement my income by taking minor artifacts. My goal is to set up a stockpile of these quite a large stockpile, hopefully, that I will use to start a business later down the road. That is the extent of the arrangement. I doubt I'll be able to open that shop anytime soon. I will almost certainly need a ship to make it worthwhile. So it's a down the road dream. It's also been suggested that at either the ship captains or the expedition commanders, that would be once again Dr. Otto's discretion, that I would be allowed to use some of the onboard cargo for speculative trading or to do cargo runs between worlds we're visiting. That money would obviously be split amongst the crew, but I would get a slight commission on top of it for having negotiated the deal.
I totally understand. Thank you very much. Anyone else have any additional questions?
I do not.
Have you ever shot a giant snake?
I've never fired a weapon before in any capacity.
And when people start shooting, does that turn you off?
Yes, I would say that is not something that I would like to have happen.
But you're a stay on the ship and make sure we get a good deal for anything.
Indeed, that is what I won't always stay on the ship. I'll go shoreside in the safety of a starport. Obviously, you make the best deals when you're standing in front of someone.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. We'll get back to you, definitely.
Indeed, it's been a pleasure. And he enthusiastically shakes everyone's hands, with very un-Bimwop-like trait, by the way. Shakes everyone's hands and thanks everybody for their time and kind of bounces as he walks out. He's very chipper.
You guys ever met any other Bimwops?
I haven't, but I don't know about eating bugs. What do you guys think?
Definitely not something I'm willing to try, but I do really like his upbeat attitude. He seemed to be very positive and tons of experience that would definitely suit us.
Bugs are high in protein. Might be one of the most protein to weight thing in the galaxy. I don't know. There's probably something new out there that's more protein to weight, but I eat a bug.
You don't have to convince me. I think Azorg in general will eat a lot of insects in their diet, but I just personally haven't tried it. I don't know. Something I'm maybe worth exploring. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. I think he probably made a cut. You want to interview the captain now?
Perfect.
Think she's going to want us to call her captain?
I don't know. I have less interest in hiring the captain, but it's up to you guys if you think we need another person.
I mean, really, it's up to...
Yeah, let's interview her just in case. I mean, we had that really cool piloting maneuver where we slingshotted around the world, but she might have known a better way of doing that.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Well, call her up if you're ready.
Boop, 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 boop.
You guys set an appointment for Captain Alara Vorstar. She arrives 15 minutes early, and she is in kind of the outfit you see. It's almost like a full captain's outfit, but it is it's not associated with any normal military. It's the same style as the Esperanza Navy, but all the patches have been removed. And when she arrives, instead of saying, the normal stuff, she says, Captain Alara Vorstar, reporting as ordered. She's very formal.
Hi, I'm Professor. I'm Otto. You are reporting. Oh, that's a very formal and official.
Well, it should be. You are the expedition commander, and you're interviewing for a captain position for one of your vessels. That would make sense.
Clearly. We've looked at your resume. Give us the elevator pitch. What makes you a good captain?
She does crack a little bit of a smirk when you say good captain. She's like, well, I'm famous throughout Esperanza for being a good captain. I've single-handedly won naval engagements that determined fates of worlds. So I don't think that part's in too much debate. The truth is, the question I believe you were trying to ask was, why do I want to be the captain on this vessel? And that is because my niece asked me to. Sarah Tassa is my niece. And I was going to retire to a little cabin in the middle of nowhere. And she asked if I would volunteer for this position so that I could help keep you guys safe. Because you saved her life. And since you saved my niece's life, I feel very indebted to you and would be willing to extend my retirement out a few more years to watch over you while you go on your expeditions. And from the sounds of what you went through, I suspect you could use that expertise.
That Sarah's a good egg.
She smiles when you say that. Yeah, she is. She's like that daughter I didn't get to have. She pulls out a wooden pipe and says, do you guys mind if I smoke in here?
Go ahead. You're going to be okay with a vessel that's got, I don't know all of the different things we have, but we've got, I thought we had a mining laser. Like, you're a military. You said you're going to protect us.
I'm familiar with the Serpent class scout, and while it does lack a significant amount of firepower, it's small and stealthy and able to maneuver quite well. Most of the time, my suggestion is going to be to avoid a fight, which I suspect is, given the nature of your mission, you would agree with that under most circumstances. But if it comes down to it and we have to fight, as long as everyone pulls their weight, I'll do my best to get us through it.
What's your chain of command philosophy when things go sideways? Are you going to listen to Otto's command or just give your opinion? Or how's that going to go?
My interpretation is, and we can discuss this further if you're interested in my service, but my interpretation is that as soon as the laser bolts start flying, I would be in overall command of the ship. I would handle that. The expedition commander is in overall command of the expedition. I won't engage unless I'm told to by him, but once we do enter combat, I would expect my orders to be followed. I am willing to entertain other parts of the arrangement, although I think it would be unwise to do it any other way.
That's probably true. I'm not going to speak for Otto or Zane, but I mean, if shit gets thick, it's good to have an expert.
Otto's kind of nodding along. He's got a huge grin on his face, and he goes, yeah, and oh man, yeah, that sounds great.
What's your ritual before liftoff? Do you have any superstitions or anything?
I'm not overly superstitious, but there are things I do before going out on an expedition. I spend time quietly contemplating what we're about to do. I make sure to touch base with my family that I have before I leave port. Things that will put my mind at ease if this turns out to be my last voyage.
I'll ask her about the food one. What's your favorite food to eat?
Oh, my favorite food is steak tartare.
We're gonna have problems.
I realize that such a lavish meal probably won't be available on a scout ship like this.
Oh, you'd be surprised. How do you feel about termites?
They're high in protein, and I hear they taste minty. I did a 3 weeks.
right.
I did a 3 week survival course in the outback of Esperanza, and we had to eat all sorts of bugs. Not pleasant, but you can get by on them.
All right. What is your policy on civilians and cargo with undisclosed details?
That racks an eyebrow for her. She's like, it would determine on the nature of the undisclosed details. She seems to be measuring her words very carefully now. I will defer to the expedition commander on anything as far as legalities are concerned, but there are certain morals that I will not budge on. I will not entertain or tolerate anything that I would consider to be unethical or immoral going on under the command of my vessel. And it will be my vessel.
All right. Well, anybody have any other questions?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you want us to call you Captain?
Normally, on a military vessel, it would be appropriate to refer to me as Captain. It is a rank that I earned. However, I realize that this will be a much less formal endeavor, and that it may be confusing for some of the people in your command. So I leave that to you as the expedition commander to decide whether or not to use my rank. How formal you want the rules applied to the vessel is entirely up to you.
Yeah. I'll definitely call you Captain then. Captain. But we gotta talk about it amongst ourselves.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your consideration. And she stands, salutes, and assuming that you are actually dismissing her, she leaves.
That was a crisp salute.
She said she was renowned for her captaincy.
That would be something that's easily accessible to you on the Esperanza internet.
She's got a Wikipedia page.
She does. So she was involved in 2 brush wars, and the only controversial thing that's going to be on there is one of those battles that she talks about. There was a attempt by the planet of Saint Hilaire to secede from Esperanza, and she was named as basically being the naval commander that decimated their ability to defend themselves. Like, she brought that planet back into the fold by force. She also used orbital bombardment to lessen resistance.
Soften them up.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of political controversy that comes with bringing her on board, but her skills are pretty much undeniable from a tactics perspective.
The only thing that I would mention, just for us to consider, I think she's an awesome candidate. The one thing I think we need to consider is the idea of the concept of smuggling. Bringing things of, because again, we're scientists and archaeologists. We're going to be dabbling with things that have different types of value on them, and also different types of legality. So that might be the only thing that might be interested in us talking about. And going back to Zigzag's question, I think it was a very, very good question.
I thought Zigzag's question was answered, but maybe not.
Yeah, she said that she would do whatever I say. Called me
I don't
the
know that
commander.
she said.
She
I don't think she said you do whatever you say.
Sorry, yeah. As long as it's within her same moral ideals. So we're not going to smuggle people in against their will.
I mean,
goods, maybe.
Well, that could be the
drugs,
assumption, right?
probably not.
I just appreciated Zigzag's question. I thought helped us to get a better understanding of the type of work that we do.
Wait. Do we intend on smuggling things? Like,
If we get the Wop call, he'll just say that the things we're bringing in are legal.
That's very true. In
again, my question still
historically,
stands. Do we intend on smuggling things?
look, there's a gray area when we're talking about ancient artifacts or artifacts that belong to a culture, and we are studying those artifacts and bringing them somewhere else. The legality of it, let's be serious, could be a gray area. That's why I asked the question. I don't know. I'm not personally smuggling anything.
I mean, we all are smuggled in a servo arm thing, and
well, that's kind of my reasoning. That's a good point. Somebody is a smuggler.
Is one piece was going to be a part of a robot, and it was part of a robot, and it had a.
Yep, Kizik, be prepared to hear about this for pretty much ever.
Yeah, at least it didn't destroy the universe. It just tried to kill. I feel bad.
I mean, it destroyed the universe for the families of 23 people.
University. It's a little smaller, but it still starts with the same thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of a lessons learned there, Otto.
I like Jonathan the best. Lessons have been learned.
You're lucky that the consequences didn't come back full force.
He was trying to get to my office to kill me.
My plan was to confront it, weaponless.
Completely weaponless. We're just gonna go talk to it.
That was a dumb idea. Whose idea was that?
That was partly my idea. That was stupid.
That gave me a migraine.
Thought it was a social check. Gotta talk it down. Be the face of the group. It'll be awesome.
It was too late for that. All right, look. My ultimate vote here, if it matters at all, which it probably doesn't, I like Mike and Tina. And I like the Bwop. I don't like the captain. That's how I feel about it. You do what you want to do.
Don't like she's Sarah's aunt.
And Sarah's a good egg, but look, Esperanza is let's call it what it is. It's a dictatorship. We can't even cuss out in public without getting a ticket. I like getting away. As much as, being in the ATV really sucked for all of those weeks, it was a time when I literally didn't get a ticket back here at home. I probably get a ticket once a day. I don't like authority figures, and that's just me personally. You do what you want to do.
Esperanza's not actually that strict of a dictatorship. But
Okay. I'm exaggerating.
yeah. No, I mean,
you build murder robots.
Even by dictatorship standards of across the board, they're actually pretty loose. But it is a dictatorship and it is authoritarian in that, for you guys, the biggest heartache would be, for years it was illegal to do research on the Droyan. So,
Right.
remember that hampered everybody's thing. So there's a freedom of speech issue as well, but it's not that strict. Oh.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Demolition Man, which is it's way off. All right then.
All right, I've heard Zigzag. Jonathan, the nicest one. Lessons have been learned. What are you voting for?
Again, I have concerns about the captain. I think I've kind of shared that a little bit. I have concerns that, that might be a problem area in the future if we start bringing on certain types of antiquities that are contested between different countries or different worlds or different civilizations. That might be a concern for us. I do like Tina and Mike. I think they're they're eggs that kind of look like they kind of blend in well with us and with who we are actually working with. I do like is it Call as well. I like his attitude and the way that he brings the things that he brings forward to us. And again, the fact that he has very little concern about the idea of, and again, I use the word loosely, but smuggling. He just saw that as being more profitable. So those are my thoughts as far as the 4 candidates.
And lastly, Dr. Zane.
I think Tina and Mike have proven their value already and worked with us already. I think the captain is an important piece to a functioning ship, and we don't have one. I think Call brings a certain set of skills that wouldn't hurt us to have. But I'm concerned about the being here to make money deal. Like that's not part of what we're doing. It is and it isn't. I guess like we're here to find new things and do new things and understand new things so that we can use them to make money. Sure, I guess. I don't know. All 4 of them bring unique skills to the table that could benefit us. I have no issues if you hire any of them or all of them.
I too share your trying to make a profit off of antiquities is kind of concerning. And I would love to be able to trust our safety to the aunt of Sarah. Like, she only volunteered to come to this job to take us and keep us safe. And that's like a way better killer robot than the one that I made. That's a lot of things to think through. But I guess I'm the ultimate commander. She kept calling me a commander, and I really liked her for that. They're going to not like each other at all because she wants to eat the steak and he doesn't want to eat the steak. Oh, man. And everybody's still looking at me like I have to make a big final call, huh? So,
yep.
You do have to make a big final call.
Well, final call. I'm hiring them all. Yeah. I hear everybody's concerns about not needing a very strict leader, but she smiled once, and I guess she was kind of playing me up to be the bigger one. Maybe she's got the wool pulled over my eyes. Zigzag, you make sure she's not pulling wool over my eyes, and she is going to follow the right chain of commands. But I think that she's just trying to keep us safe. And Zane, you make sure Kakal doesn't sell too many things. But it also would be nice to be able to buy a new servo instead of stealing one from a ancient ghost ship.
Yeah, buying is an option.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll set up more in-depth things assuming they are all hired. I'll also give you stats because I didn't want to tell you this before the interview because I didn't want to affect your decision. But each of them comes with a ship upgrade that you'll be getting. So by hiring all of them, you get all 4. So I will be getting that sorted out for you guys. Now, shopping. We only have about 5 minutes, but if you know exactly what you need, we can get that sorted.
I'd like some Prius goggles, please.
What tech level are they?
I need to look that up.
If they're 12 or under, it's an automatic yes. They'll cost a little bit more if they're 11 or 12. But they will be available. Anyone else?
I was just getting some different types of ammunition. I was going to get some incendiaries for my gun.
Okay, make sure that it's available for the gun type that you're using.
It's rated for pistols, so I should be good.
Yeah.
Tech level, I think, was like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
The priest goggles are tech level 12.
Okay, so that'll be 20% more than price. But they are available. They are imported from off-world.
I can use my Galactics credits card.
You absolutely can. You can sort of always use that. It's one of the advantages of it. There will be some worlds that'll be less friendly to using it, so it'll fluctuate a little bit. Like if you go to an Axis-controlled world, they know that the Galactic Alliance is not friendly to them, but it's still a universal credit, so they'll still take it. They'll just take, more of it. All right. Anybody else?
I'm gonna get a better weapon. The shotgun, shooting that guy with a shotgun, it still makes me shudder.
Okay. May I suggest for a being of your size that you look at either snub carbine or accelerator rifle and see if you can find the smart trait for it for ammunition, or any modifications to it that increase its ability to hit, which will help offset any issues you have with skill.
Okay.
Also,
I will do that.
Okay. What's your tech levels on it? So tech level 10 is standard, 11 is 10% additional, 12 is 20% additional. Anything above 12 is unobtainable right now without special arrangement. 12 is pretty high though. 12 is that's Galactic Alliance territory, so you should be able to find pretty much anything you need. Also, everyone gets an experience point. I explained earlier, but I'll just run quickly over it again. 1 experience point is 1 study period. Apply that to give yourself either a untrained skill at level 0 or a level 0 to level 1, and it's more or less automatic, or you put it towards a level 2 or higher score because you need more training periods for that. When we do intermission episodes, my plan is to grant a skill point because you have completed an adventure. This will allow your characters to level up significantly faster than they would based simply on skill periods alone. Also, we're not exclusively doing experience points. You can still, in your jump travel times, earn study periods the old-fashioned way by putting weeks towards it. Remember, it's 8 weeks to a study period. And that's all I got. Did everybody have a good time?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, it was great.
Cool.
Indeed.
I will start putting together our next slated adventure. I will post a few things probably on Discord over the next couple of weeks to give you guys just some stats and stuff to look at as I finish tricking out the Borealis, what you guys picked as the name of your scout ship. Just a few little extra tidbits that we're going to put on at the shipyard. And I'll also post at some point these character cards for the crew that you've hired. They don't have their actual stat sheets on them. They just have a brief overview of them. And that's kind of intentional because, having actual stat sheets for them is a bit too precise in your ability to look at what they can do. All right. Thank you, guys. For all those on the stream.
you.
We'll see you next time.